Hi everyone, this is Ramanuj here from LawSikho. Thank you for joining me. So who all are live with me today? Please introduce yourselves quickly in the chat. Hi Johanna, Rishabh, Jagannath, Harsh. Great to have all of you with me today. Okay, so today is a workshop. This can last for almost 3 hours, so I hope you're all mentally prepared. We are going to talk about something very important today. Hi Nishu, hi Sumant, Ahwan. Hi Ahwan, Kshitij. Great to have all of with you. Please introduce yourselves quickly. And it's a great platform to network with each other. You can properly introduce yourself, share your Twitter profiles, LinkedIn profiles, connect with each other, because everybody here is a legal professional or aspirant, and you can help each other. Network is very powerful. You might connect with someone over here today who would be helping you with something 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line. So opportunities are huge. You never know which connection comes to which kind of use when. So it's a great idea to connect with each other and support other people. That way you can build a powerful professional network and help each other, right? So I encourage whoever has come here, share your social media profiles, follow each other, and tell people why should they follow you. How are you going to help them? If they follow you, if they reach out to you, what can you help them with? Many here are, I'm guessing, lawyers. So how many of you are lawyers here, and how many are law students? If you're a law student, just write student, and if you're a lawyer, write lawyer. If you do something else, maybe you are a professional, you can mention that you're a CA, CS, anything else, you can mention that. Advocates, great, awesome. All right. So great, super. So anyway, today's discussion is something that would be relevant even for lawyers and students. If you want to work with a law firm someday, today's discussion is very relevant, right? So we are going to talk about what challenges you will face while working in a law firm and how to overcome those challenges, right? Hi, Ashwati, Ruchita, Abhinav, Karan. It's so good to have so many of you here today. And how many of you are attending these sessions for the first time? You can write 0 because you are attending for the first time, and those you have attended many times before, you can write the number of times you have attended, maybe 2, 5, 10 plus, whatever, right? So just to get a feeling of how many of you are here for the first time today, attending my online sessions or workshops or webinars for the first time, right? So it's a mix of people who have attended many times and attending for the first time. Those who are attending for the first time, welcome, right? Super. So let's get started, I guess, with our discussion today. Okay, so what challenges you will face while working in a law firm and how to overcome them, right? First, I'm going to tell you, my own story. So imagine that you have just got a job in a top law firm, right? And whichever law firm that you really want to work in, one of the law firms, you have got a job there. And imagine that this was the first day of your 5th year in college. So you came back from 4th year break, and on the first day you had day 0 interviews, right? And multiple firms are there taking interviews, and I appeared in 3 law firm interviews and got through 2 of them. And and that is apart from the other offers I would have got or could have got, and firms which had clearly told me they're interested in hiring me, right? So I had multiple offers on day 0 and I had to choose one. And when I was trying to, they gave, after day 0 I got 2 offers. So it was Trilegal and Luthra, and then we had to make a decision overnight, and in the morning we had to confirm. And I got calls from partners of both the law firms trying to convince me to join and giving concessions that, okay, if you want to join in Delhi or Bombay, you can choose, you won't insist any place, whatever you like, and so on, right? And it felt great. So, that people, such huge law firms they want me to work there, and I felt on top of the world at that time, right? And I chose one of them. I chose Trilegal, and I could have gone for JSA or AZP because I had done internships there, and they had told me specifically that, if you are interested, let us know, apply again for an internship. But obviously, if I got a job, I stopped doing any internships after that, and I did not feel any need to prepare. So now that I look back, it sounds so stupid that you have got the job of your dreams, a job that you really wanted, you have got good marks, you have worked hard to get that job, you have done internships. When you got that job, like when I got that job, okay, I had 1 year left to prepare. I could have thought, okay, once at night, today, knowing what I know, and today the way I am, I'll think that, oh, I have got this job, I have 1 year. How can I prepare for this job so that once I join the job, I will be a top performer, right? But that's not what I was thinking like that time. I was like, I'm already a top performer. I have achieved the goal of my life to get a job where I will get paid 1 lakh per month or so on, right? And I did not think that I need to prepare for anything at all. I was like super confident that I am amazing already, and I am so smart, I am so good, I am just going to rock it. I was so sure that the world is waiting for me to just come and rock it and make everything like, there will be like angels singing and flowers, being rained down upon once I join, because I'm so good and so smart and I have worked so hard to get this, right? And by the way, this was a big deal for me forever, because this was supposed to change my life, getting such a job, because I come from a difficult financial background, and while I started earning good amount of money in college myself, but it was the job that I had really aspired for when I was joining law college. So it was the life-changing event in a way, right? To get this one of the best jobs in the country, and to get paid so much money, very exciting, right? So I have always been a top performing intern when I was interning in law firms, right? So I had only interned till my 3rd year. In 4th year, I did not even intern. Okay, I did other things, and still I was chosen, and I did good stuff, right? I was doing practical work. I worked with startups. I worked with L&T on a large project, 300 crore project. I was helping them with legal risk management of that project. I got a certificate for that. I got my first clients that I worked with. I was pitching, I was building a startup. Like, it was really good stuff I was doing. But when I was an intern in my 3rd year, I had done a great job, so much so that people had asked me to come back for second internships. And they had said that, if you want a job in the future, let us know. So I was like, amazing, like, this is fantastic. Like, I'm a top performing intern. I'm so good. And if I join a law firm, they're lucky to have me. And especially it was confirmed by these two partners, trying to get me to join. Later on, I realized why they were doing that, because, they wanted to make sure that from NUJS, it was more of a, law firm battle rather than anything to do with my quality. But I independently worked with startups and did well. And I had even run transactions, like I had managed transactions on my own at that stage. Venture capital transactions worth 2 crore investments in an Indian startup. I had drafted the agreements with help of Abhyuday and some other people, but I had managed to get a client and do that work, and I had done such other work also. So I was like super confident that I am so good. I'm like God's gift to legal profession, and surely I am miles ahead of everyone else and much better than the rest, right? So this was the feeling at that moment, and I did nothing else. I spent that year working on startup ideas, which is a good thing, right? Which is very good to think about it now, that in the long run, now that I realize that it was one of the good things I did. I worked on startup ideas. But I had not prepared for my job because I didn't feel any need to prepare for it, right? So it's like I am already there. I'll be a top performer when I go there. So even if I wanted to prepare, to be honest, right? Even if I wanted to prepare, there was nothing much to prepare with. Like, what do I prepare? Do I read some books? What books? Do I do some courses? There was nothing like that back then that I could actually do to prepare, right? What I could do possibly is that I could do more internships. Although I didn't have to do internship to get the job, now knowing what I know, I would want to do internships just to be in that environment and learn more about what I have to do when I actually join a job, to prepare myself, right? That's number one. Number two, what I would have done to prepare was I would have tried to know what is the work, and I'm going to tell you what I would have done. But there are a bunch of things I could still do probably. But there was no like right now you're attending this session where you are hearing me talk about this. But back then, honestly, there was nothing that people said or thought that they have to prepare with anything, right? And it took a while for my bubble to burst. It's not like I just joined a law firm and day one my bubble was burst. It was not. First 3 months at the law firm were easy, like, and they were like, oh, these people just joined, don't give them much work, let's take it easy, let's not, So I had a very great time the first 3 months. There was nothing much to do. Salary was coming in the account and fantastic, right? There was not much work for me to do. And I thought law firm life is quite easy. Arey, this is so easy. Why do people complain? Why do people say there is too much work? Why do people work late night? Okay. But then after around the 3 months point, the pressure started mounting. Okay. Suddenly there was a lot of work. My team where I was allocated suddenly had a lot of transactions happening at the same time. So the team expected me to jump in and help them. Okay, but it was all of a sudden. Initially, sudden there was like, oh, there's no work. You guys chill. What work do you want to do? Okay, just do research, do something, blah. Write this thing, write an email. Then suddenly it's like, okay, now you have to work on this transaction, right? And a due diligence starts and stuff like that. Okay. There were many things at once. Like I remember once I was overwhelmed, like 3-4 things are sitting on my head, and I've never done it like this. And I don't know, different seniors asking for different things. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to give my work first? When what happens? And it seemed it is impossible to make my bosses satisfied with my work. Okay. I was very surprised. I was confident that I'm a good writer. But then if they ask me to write a memo, okay, I will write a memo and give it to them, and they'll throw it away and write it fresh. They say, no, this is bullshit. Okay. And I'm like, what is the matter? Like, what is wrong with it? I mean, what is bad with it? At least explain to me. And they won't explain too much. Okay. So, and that is just writing, and everything else also, right? It's like I did some case law research, and I can't get case law research wrong, I'm pretty sure, but they are saying, no, this is wrong and whatever. Like there is so much high temper and all of that. And by the way, this is not typical to any one law firm. Please don't think this is like one law firm. I'll tell you how I spoke to my friends later, and everyone was facing this, right? So my batchmates joined different law firms, and more or less everyone was facing some or more of this. Okay, some people are facing it less, some people are facing more of it, different situations, but degree can be different, but the nature of the problem was very similar, right? So very soon I was regularly getting shouted at. Like, people were shouting at me. I don't even know why they are shouting at me. Okay, that is the worst thing. I have always been successful at whatever I did till that point. I'm like, topper in school, good footballer, and in college also, getting good marks, always praised for the work that I have done. And suddenly I expected to be on top. Being like amazing and fantastic, but nobody is appreciating the work being rather. And I'm working hard. I'm spending late nights in the office, trying to do whatever possible. But people are not appreciating. My bosses are upset with me and they're shouting at me. So generally, before working in a law firm, I was always praised for work ethics, intelligence, professionalism. All of that went out of the window. Here it was the opposite, and I was like, what is going on, right? Is there anybody who's law firm before and have a similar experience? that you can relate to something like Hina is saying same experience I had in ARC. Okay, happening right now. Okay, okay, okay. All right. So yeah. Sorry, it seems I dropped off for a moment. Can you guys hear me and see me clearly? Hello. If you can hear me and see me, can you write in the chat? Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Sorry, I dropped off for a second. I don't know why. So yeah. So it was like really, really confusing for me that what is going on here. I can't understand what is and why. Like why exactly people are upset. What is the matter here? Okay, and I was not able to deliver. Clearly, I don't even understand what they want. How do I deliver, right? So I felt, I tried to work harder. I did whatever I could do. Tried to work harder. Tried to please my seniors. By spending more time at work, whatever I could imagine, right? Nothing seemed to work. Okay, and I was because this was happening. I was all given the worst possible work, right? Instead of being given any cerebral work, they started giving me. Okay, I'm sorry for the interruption again. I don't know. I've changed my internet connection. Hopefully, the problem won't happen anymore. Okay, so how much did you guys hear so that I can start from there? Audio cut after cerebral work. Okay, sure. So let's start again, right? Okay, so obviously I was hoping that I am going to work with the topmost law firm, one of the top law firms, and do some really brilliant corporate law work. But in reality, I was doing a lot of clerical work, and they were giving me that work probably because they were not having any faith in me or not able to trust me to give me the right work. I mean, a little better quality of work. I couldn't get the trust of my seniors to get that work, and nothing seemed to work, right? And I was feeling even worse. And because I was working, so I remember there's a point of time I was working till 3 o'clock in the morning every single day for 3 months. And I was going to office even in the weekends and working till 3 o'clock in the morning just to leave no stone unturned that I can do the best work possible. And even then it was not appreciated. I don't know what was the issue in my work, but I even fell sick and I was hospitalized for 11 days due to a strange infection. Okay, now which I now know is due to low immunity, which is caused by stress. If you are very, very stressed, then your immunity really gets affected. I'll tell you why I know this, because I was admitted to 𝗵𝗵𝗁𝗵𝗃 hospital in Bombay for 11 days. Okay, and why? Because I had a infection that the doctor said that they have never seen an Indian being infected. I had an amoebiasis in my liver, and the amoeba attacked my liver, And doctor said that they have never seen an Indian having this. They have seen foreigners who came to India being affected like this, but never saw any Indian being affected, because normally we have immunity against this. So basically my immunity was so very low that even that these kind of weird things were happening to me. And it's not only me, I managed to survive for a year in that law firm, but only because I knew in my mind that, I am going to leave this place soon. So I remember, one day, 𝗄𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗵𝗲, you may have heard of him, he was my mentor. He came to my house, and there's also my flatmates, 𝗳𝗵𝗹𝗹𝗲 and 𝗂𝗵𝗵𝗁. We three were there, and 𝗄𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗵 came to meet us. And I told him that, sir, I'm not happy. This is what is going on. And he just told me that, you are meant for doing better things in life. Okay. And by that time, I was almost in depression. I was in depression, I think, never diagnosed, but, I was feeling horrible. And at that time, I realized that anyway, I had planned to leave this place and do my own startup. So it's about a matter of a year. So somehow hunker down and do whatever it takes and finish it and then go your own way. That's how I looked at it. And that gave me a little bit of, confidence to continue. Otherwise, I was feeling extremely down and terrible, right? And luckily I had an education loan, but I was able to pay it off within the first 6 months. By first 6 months, I was done paying the entire loan. So then I had no headache for that also. And just around the 12 months mark, all the ducks were lined up, because whatever I had to do, I had a little bit of savings, 3 months of rent in my bank, and ready to quit. Okay, so I left and started my own startup. And so the nightmare ended over there. But a lot of people cannot do that, because, it's not like everybody had a plan. Many people originally planned to work in a law firm in the long term, but many of my friends had to quit in a similar circle. It's not only my situation, it's something that many people faced in my batch. And people face this year after year. And even several months afterwards, I used to wake up from nightmares. Okay. So, it was, wake up from nightmares that, that you're back in the law firm, and maybe, you messed up with a document, or you did something, or your boss. I mean, literally, like, that trauma and tension is like inside. It took time to heal from that. Okay. So I wish I was alone. Okay. That it was only about me. I have seen a lot of young lawyers suffering and struggling in ways that are not much different than my own. Okay, so just like that, and such good pay. So about pay, a lot of people are quitting, and some people may be nudged and encouraged to leave. Some people are living on their own because they just cannot take it anymore, right? I was clear that I am going to go after a year, so it was easy for me to survive a year. Otherwise, I would have left even before. And in my batch, many people, I mean, it's not about it's just, I don't want to single out anyone or, highlight any particular people, but it's, and any firm for that matter, because it is happening across the board. As I started working with law students and later lawyers, training them, okay, I had the opportunity to work with over 1,000 lawyers who have worked at various law firms and have dealt with various career issues, okay. I came to realize that there is a wide range of issues that lawyers face at different levels of seniority. It's not like only at the junior level, or this is that the firms are intentionally doing something. Some firms are good, some firms are bad. It is nothing like that. At different levels of seniority, everybody is facing massive amount of stress and problems. Okay, especially the juniors. It's the worst for the first year. They are not only getting stressed themselves, they are also stressing out the senior lawyers. Okay, so after all, today I have former clients and students working at almost every major law firm in the country. And in the last 10 years, I have built businesses myself. So when I was building businesses myself and hiring and trying to get people to productive, I also came to realize it's so difficult, for example, to hire a fresher and get them to be productive, because I don't know what they're expecting, what their goals are. It's very hard to, some people are exceptionally good. Some people, it's just terribly hard to get them to perform or do the things we want them to do. They might be thinking they're doing a great job, but are we happy with, are we getting what we want as an organization? So I have built a blog, IP Readers blog, that has over 12 lakh readers per month. I just am telling you that, after that failure, it's not like I'm all failure. I've had a few successes. I built and shut down ClickLawyer, which had scaled to 8 lakh per month revenue in a matter of 7 months. LawSikho, where we are almost 100 people working today and employing over 60 lawyers full-time and training several thousand clients to get jobs at law firms, build their own law practices, crack even judiciary exams and other exams, right? So in the process of building, I learned a lot about what organizations expect from employees and consultants and where people often come short, okay? So I'm going to tell you, some of these issues today that actually, because what was such a mystery to me back then should not have been such a mystery if somebody actually showed me. I mean, these are very predictable issues. These are very likely issues that you are going to face these challenges only if you prepare. Then you will be able to deal with them very effectively. And today's workshop is all about telling you how to deal with these challenges, what challenges you're going to face, how to deal with them, and how to go beyond them and perform exceptionally well in a law firm, right? If you have a law firm job, then how to perform exceptionally well in such a job, right? So how many of you are ready to hear the next part of this? How many of you want to know, what are the challenges you're going to face and how to deal with those challenges? All right. Lots of you very excited. That's awesome to see. Let's get started, right? Okay, so where would you face problems if you were to work at a law firm, right? If you have not worked at a law firm before, you probably do not know enough about the work you'll have to do. And this is one red flag. We recently did a session on what work do corporate lawyers do. So all of you who have not watched it, please make it a note, make it a point that you go later on to our this thing to see and watch this video. It's almost 2 hours long video. But if you want to work in a law firm, you will be spending thousands of hours in working. So you better watch that 2 hours to prepare yourself. And what I can do now is, what will be the best way to give you access to that video? That when I talked about how to actually deal with what is the work that corporate lawyers do, and I mean, you need to know that. So remember that. Number one, it's on YouTube. Sure, it's on YouTube. You can go and find it there. What work lawyers do, you can go to LawSikho YouTube channel later on and find it. But I am afraid you will forget. What I'll do is that I'll get it. I hope, how many of you are in our WhatsApp groups? If you're not in our WhatsApp group, write no. If you're in our WhatsApp group, write yes. So I will know the split. Okay, a lot of you are not in the WhatsApp groups. Some of you are, but a lot of you are not. So I would request all of you join our corporate law community WhatsApp groups, okay? Because whoever is not, okay? Because if you join that today after the session, I will share the YouTube video. Otherwise, how many of you will remember to go find this from our YouTube channel and watch it later? Okay, so definitely join the YouTube channel. Sorry, don't join the WhatsApp group so that I can share you the YouTube link of this particular video. We have thousands of videos on our YouTube channel. You can't watch everything, or you can't even find. Okay, corporate law WhatsApp group. Okay, I'm going to, I'm going to. I don't know how to share. I'll make sure that a mail goes to all of you who have registered for this webinar. But even otherwise, join that WhatsApp group so that I can share more resources with you later. Okay, and especially this video. You need to know what work actually you have to do when you're in a corporate law firm. You'll probably try to learn on the job, you know, and this is a big challenge. Okay, I'll share the link right now, just one second. I'll just tell somebody to share the link with me so I can share it with you. Yeah, someone has shared the link with me, so I can just copy this and share with all of you, right? This is the YouTube video I'm talking about that I want all of you to watch. Okay. All right. So let's get back, I guess. I'll share the link shortly. Corporate law WhatsApp group, I'll share the link. Okay. I am basically I have to create a new group because the old groups are all full. There is hardly any space, maybe 5, 6 spaces. So it's hard. Acha, oh, there may be one that has space. Let me just check. Anyway, I'll get the link soon. I'll share the link with you. Okay. All right. So let's get back to our presentation, I guess. Okay. So you do not know the work. So this is a problem. And the second thing you'll do is that you'll probably try to learn on the job. And trying to learn on the job while you are working in a law firm is a very, very complicated thing. Okay. What is the complicated thing? It is, imagine that, there is some work you are asked to do a due diligence. Okay. And you have never done a due diligence, of course. For the first time you are doing it. You don't even know what laws apply, how to do it. You don't know how to draft a due diligence report. Say you are asked to draft one particular section. You've never done it. You don't know what kind of language is to be used, what kind of structuring happens. And you might be given some, or maybe they're asking you to draft an agreement. Okay, draft this franchisee agreement, or draft name something as simple as a non-disclosure agreement, which is a very short agreement. Okay. Now, what happens is that when you are given such a task, and they might say that, okay, you can see these 2-3 old documents. This is an NDA we signed before, and you can see these 2-3 documents, and after looking at these documents, you can decide and draft this. Right now, you have never done this, and you don't know all the nitty-gritties of different laws that apply, and you just go and draft it. And then what happens is that you are trying to learn, and then you are anyway under a lot of pressure that, I don't know how to do this. Okay, first time I drafted, then you send it to your senior. Okay, and maybe you have done a good job with the clauses themselves, with the language, but you don't understand the importance of formatting, or you don't understand the formatting, to present it well, or you are using a language which is very non-standard, or you have not marked it properly, maybe the numbering is wrong. And for you, these things are all normal, right? You never think that these are any big deals. And you send it to your senior, and senior says that, okay, right now I don't have time. We have to send this out tomorrow. So before we go, in the evening, I'll see this. Okay. Because he's expecting that he'll look at it and some small changes max, and then everything will be ready. Okay. And then the senior opens it, at night at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Whole day he did not get time because he's also busy. He's doing his work. At 8 o'clock, he opens your document and he's like, oh, this is all I have to redo. Like, you have not even done a proper numbering. You have not your page number, pagination is wrong, your referencing is wrong, everything, like or your presentation is so pathetic. So he's really scared, and he's like, what have you done? Now that he sits down to fix it, it takes 2-3 hours. Now he can't go home on time. You have to also sit there trying to fix it, and in the process, okay, it will take a long time. Okay, it will take a long time, and then he's angry and he's upset, and because he had to stay back because of you, and this happens. Okay, so this will happen because you're trying to learn on the job. You're bound to make mistakes, and you have to understand that in a law firm, people are very busy, and this is really high stake. Even one mistake cannot go through. If one mistake goes, it will be a problem. Why just this? Imagine that somebody asked you to draft an affidavit and you made a mistake in the affidavit. Okay, people may give you really a earful and shout at you. Although fixing it will not take much time, but when they are running to the court, or they have a briefing in 5 minutes, and then they see this, they are going to be very upset and they're going to shout at you, right? So there is a knowledge deficit, right? First of all, you don't know any of the procedures at all. Even if you know some substantive law, you probably don't know any of the procedures unless you have extensively interned and learned and seen that. And people are more patient with interns because interns very low expectations, right? But when it comes to a paid associate, or you're already working getting paid, then there's a high expectation because you're getting paid so much, and you have been hired from such hallowed institutions, or maybe you have been hired through many rounds of interviews, many rounds of internships. So you are supposed to be good, at least that's what they're expecting. But at the same time, there is a huge knowledge deficit when you are going and working in a law firm. I'll give you an example. So if you are working in the merger and acquisition team or an investment team, right? A lot of time you're dealing with foreign investors. Your client are foreign investors, or even if your client is an Indian company, you're dealing with a foreign investor, right? So you might actually have to learn a lot of different laws and rules and policies. Like you have to know the FDI policy. Okay, now have you read the FDI policy? Probably not. You have to know a lot of specific RBI circulars, this, that, and you may not have actually ever come across that. There's a really funny thing, like so many times I have seen that people don't know what is an NBFC. An NBFC is a non-banking financing company, non-banking finance company. Now, people are told, okay, go look at this NBFC circular. And they're like, what? NBFC? What is NBFC? They're going and Googling what is NBFC because they have never come across this term before. And this is a huge problem because every jargon seems new to you. There's an investment banker. What does an investment banker do? You don't know what is an investment banker do. How many of you know what is an investment banker and what does he do? You know it? Probably you don't. And like this, there would be different concepts, and not even legal concepts, sometimes business concepts. And you are dealing with so many of these things. It's like everything coming at you at 100 miles per hour. And you don't know how to deal with all this, like at once, because everything raining down on you, so many new things, and you don't know, you are not prepared. So this is one problem that you face when you're in a law firm. Another thing is pure skill deficit, right? Let's say you know how to English, and you have drafted something in college. They asked you to draft something, you drafted, you got good marks, whatever. Suddenly you are drafting something here and they are not happy with it. They're like, no, this is bad language. And you're like, what is good language? How do I do it? And they are not happy. Maybe they are expecting you to write in bullet points, whereas you are writing long paragraphs. Maybe you want them, they have a different expectation of presentation, that you will be presenting it through a table or something, in some diagram and so on, and you have never done that, and you have no idea what to do, how to do, right? They are telling you, okay, here we have drafted a due diligence report. Now you go prepare an executive summary first draft, and you're like, what is executive summary? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to write there? And it's very, very confusing. And skill deficit, and then compliance. So they have you have been told that, okay, now you go the deal compliance for this deal, and you are responsible for deal compliance, and you don't know what is deal compliance. What they say, okay, go file this 𝗂𝗵𝗹𝗃 form, and you're like, 𝗂𝗵𝗃 form, where do I file it? On the RBI website? Do I have to go upload it somewhere? Is there like, do I have to create an account? Like what? Where? And you have no idea. You are like completely blank about what they're asking you to do, right? So it is a huge skill deficit, and you are almost always at the mercy of some other person, and you are going and telling them, please tell me what to do, and they are getting irritated because they are very busy themselves, and they have to teach you on top of it, so they are not happy at all. And how much they teach you is a question. Like maybe they'll not even tell you something that you really need to know. Then there is a huge problem that is cultivated by our law colleges, unfortunately. That is the habit of guessing, right? Now, since your school days, you know that you have to write a long answer. In history, there is a question, okay, what was the architecture in time of Akbar? And then you write any random stuff, like, any nonsense you write, but if you write a long enough answer, you will get enough marks, right? How many of you know had this in history, that if you write a short answer, you will not get marks, but if you write a lot of long nonsense, nobody will read it, but you will get marks. And the same thing is repeated in college. It is repeated in college also. In college, a lot of people are just writing, they're coming up with random case law names. Okay, Ramanuj versus Mukherjee. Okay, 𝗤𝗵𝗹𝗹𝗲 versus Agarwal. And you do that, and you will pass your exams by doing that. It's not like if you're doing it and you're failing your exam because of that. Probably, teachers also know you're bullshitting, and in 𝗰𝗵𝗹𝗶, you can go confidently bullshit and get marks out of it, right? So all these years, you are in the habit of bullshitting people, and if you can confidently bullshit, and it is called gassing, and different word, faffing, all these are there, and no different. In NUJs, when we studied, we could totally faff and get away with a lot of, some teachers were really hard, they won't let us get away with any faffing, but most teachers, because they want to be popular with the students, they will say, okay, theek hai, pass kara do, aise ki they can't afford to make you fail. So by doing this, you can even score good marks. Imagine the situation, right? People are writing projects, they are bullshitting in their any random things they are writing in their project, which is incorrect also, but they are getting good marks for it. They are graduating from law college. Now, what have you learned? All your life you have learned that confidently argue anything, nonsense, write something, and you will get marks. Now, this is completely antithetical of law practice. In law practice, this doesn't work. You do this in a law firm, you will be murdered. Okay, like it is completely unacceptable. Okay, is there any lawyer here who has practiced for long enough? Can you tell me what will happen? You go and do this before a judge, before a senior lawyer, before a partner in a corporate law firm. What will happen? Yeah, they will be like, this is something that lawyers cannot afford to do. You will get screamed at, and all, like, they'll throw you out immediately. They'll be like, they'll shut you down. Okay, massive problem. But juniors have no conception of this. They are, very big problem. Like, I can't tell you what a big problem, that this is not acceptable. And if you are in the habit of getting out of tough situations by gassing, then you have built a bad habit which will not serve you well when you are in a law firm. Mooting, even in mooting, you confidently say some nonsense. Nobody is going to check whether the case laws you are citing are correct or not. If you're arguing the complete opposite of the correct law, you might still win the moot, as long as you are speaking well and speaking confidently, right? And that is not okay. That is not okay. If as a lawyer, you will get murdered in a law firm for doing this. Now and then another problem that is there, you're great at coming up with great excuses and genuine excuses, like perfect excuses, like genuine, even there's no lie in it. Okay, and expect them to fly if they're genuine, right? A genuine excuse there. But excuses don't work in a law firm. If you say, I am not well, I am sick, so what am I supposed to do? Is my client going to go to jail for it? Or is my client's deal going to fall through because you are sick? There is $1 million at stake, or 10 million, or $100 million at stake, right? You are sick, you are unwell, you had a car accident, you got drunk at night, you can't wake up in the morning, doesn't matter. You have to go home because your family needs support. Law firms are not there to look after all these things. They are, very clear that they will listen to it maybe once or twice in a year. Rest of the time they'll say, get lost. Okay, we have this work, we are all under heavy pressure, we are trying to make a lot of money, and if you are not able to take care of your problems, it is your problem, right? And there are people who will say, no, it should not be like this, it should be more human. A lot of law firms will pretend to be more nicer and all of that, right? How did you manage when you were admitted for 11 days? So I was in hospital, so they knew. Sorry, I should not say anything, but literally just say the HR was in the hospital to check on me if I was there or not. Let's just say that. She came to check how well I'm doing. Let's just say that, right? So I am just telling you that, it's like that. Okay, like, I mean, you are in the hospital, absolutely. You doctors are saying that you can't get out. Okay, no problem. Okay. I have had friends and seniors who had their hands broken in an accident, hands broken in a sling. Boss is calling and saying, sorry, you have to work with one hand. Okay. Now you might think that this is inhuman or whatever. Okay, but this is how it is, because they are also under that much pressure. Okay, they have hired you, they are paying you good money, and they expect absolute dedication. How are they going to do the job otherwise if you're not there and you're not able to deliver? See, I don't want to justify the bad stuff, but you have to accept the pressure of a job, right? So, imagine the doctors who are serving in the COVID duty, right? Some of them are working for 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours continuously. Can't be helped. That is the nature of the job. Lot of lawyers also job is like that. I mean, I don't support that if your hand is broken, and I'm not justifying that, right? I'm not justifying somebody's hand is broken and you should ask that person to work. But even think of it this way, that many professions, in lawyers, profession is such. Imagine, even you're not working at a law firm, you're working in the court and it is your own client. You see people who have their own practice, how long they are working. They have full control over their time. Still they are working like crazy because somebody's life is in your hand. Somebody's business is in your hand. Somebody's lifelong dream is in your hands. Can you afford to slack off? Okay. Now somebody is asking, why do junior lawyers not have fixed hours and salaries? I don't know. I don't know answer to these questions. I'm telling you the problems you will face. Okay, I have not created this system. I don't have all the good answers. Okay, but you see your seniors also working like that, right? They are not asking for anything more than what they are doing themselves, right? So that's a good point, Swapnil. Right? Swapnil is saying, I see my seniors working day and night, so I don't complain. Now, imagine in such an environment, you come up with excuses, and perfect, genuine excuses as to why the work is not done, or why you cannot work, or why you cannot work on a Sunday. It's not going to fly. It doesn't work. It doesn't go hand in hand. Imagine that your client is paying you $1 million to get a deal through, and if that deal doesn't go through by Tuesday, then some other investor will take the opportunity, and you have to close the deal by Tuesday, and you're saying, I'll not work on Sunday because I don't know, because I need a break. Not going to work in a law firm. It doesn't work. It doesn't work in any law firms. I have never seen, not in India, not in US. I don't know in somewhere in Europe it might still be different, but at least here it does not work like this. Okay. So this is the situation. Now imagine this is the kind of pressure people are already facing, and you are being inefficient in that. You are not good at your work. You're making mistakes. you are doing the same work twice, thrice, you have to redo because you made mistake and then you got shouted at, you went back, redo it, and then again shouted at, redo it again. Okay. Why do people have to work for so long? This is the primary reason, that they are working themselves to death. It is usually not the fault of the law firm. The law firm has given them certain work, and as an associate, you are supposed to do it. Okay, you are expected to do it, and you should know how to do it. If you know how to do it right, you will be able to do it in one shot. But if you're not able to do it in one shot, you are doing it 3 times. The law firms is not going to give you less work because it is taking you 3 times more work. Then they'll say, okay, you stay back and work longer hours, right? So clear deadlines also are there for the work, Swapnil, that's correct. Okay, so people have to work obscene hours most of the time because they are not able to do the work. They are taking too much time. What should have been done in 2 hours, they did it in 2 hours. Maybe they did it in 1 hour, and they showed it to their boss. Boss shouted. Then they are spending 2 hours next time, and then again it did not meet the standards. So they again spending 2 more hours. So end up spending 5-6 hours doing what was supposed to be done for 2 hours, right? So this is the situation, and that is why also a lot of people are working for so many hours. Now the feedback cycle. So what happens is that, this takes a lot of time, because ideally your senior is sitting free, and the moment you do your work and give it to them, they're immediately giving you feedback. Imagine how nice it will be. This is what you will think initially, that I am working in a law firm. I finished my contract. I drafted my first draft. So how long do you think your senior will take to review it and give you feedback? How long? 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour? The senior may not get time that day at all. And next day, before the deadline, he'll come to you and say, okay, now let's review the contract. And then he will see that your contract is in a bad shape. Then he'll shout at you because the deadline is too near. So this is a problem, because feedback cycle is too long, because the senior is also overworked. He's already so busy. He's also staying up at night. He's going home late. He is overworked. So he's struggling himself. And the feedback cycle it's not like the moment you want feedback, you'll get it. The feedback will come much later. Okay. 10 minutes. Nritika, you're saying you will get feedback with this 10 minutes within submission. Very unlikely. You have been interning at law firms. Have you ever got feedback so quickly, or does it take time? Okay. But this best one shot may fail. It wasn't deliberately yet listened to sarcasm. Yeah. So all that happens. A lot of and the environment also in the law firms are such that, there is extreme harshness, right? It's normal to be very harsh to people. And this is how it is. Take days sometimes, right? That's what he's saying. Like, you did something and the feedback is coming after days. So if you're told this feedback earlier, you could have fixed it. But by that time, many days have gone by. So feedback cycle is also very bad. And then there is a huge problem that, you might have a certain interpretation of a law, or you may have an opinion of how this is how it should be done, right? And then you go and tell your senior, and your senior is, no, this is how you should do it. And you think that it is completely wrong, what your senior is saying. So you argue or whatever, and that's also a problem, because your senior will say, I mean, literally, I heard somebody saying this to another lawyer, that client tera baap ka nahi hai, mera client hai, jo bol raha hu kar. Okay, literally, like the client is not your father's client, it's my client. So do what I'm asking you to do. And you can think that he's being harsh, but the reality is that it is the juniors come with a lot of unrealistic expectations about, oh, I am a good lawyer, I know so much, I have studied law for 5 years, correct? So, why wouldn't you, listen to me, this is my opinion. And you would want to argue on the law, you want to argue on finer points, but they don't give a damn. You are not there to do all this. You are not there to show off how good a lawyer you are, right? So they are saying whatever they're asking you to do, they expect you to do, and you as a junior might not be cooperative, and it can be a huge problem, right? Then there is another problem that many young lawyers are not diligent enough. Are you diligent? I mean, more than how good a lawyer you are at that level, at junior level especially, what they care about is that whether you are very diligent or not. Okay. When you are a junior lawyer, diligence and reliability and predictability matters more. Can they trust you? It doesn't matter how smart you are. Can they trust you that you have not made any typos? You have not made any formatting errors. You have not, you have not forgotten something that you're not supposed to forget. Because if that happens, they'll fire you on the spot. If, by the way, the client receives a mail or some document which has typos or which has, maybe a pagination mistake, you'll get fired because it reflects on the quality of the firm. The firm, if it is a seriously good firm, they take pride in the final impact of the kind of work that is coming, right? Clients would be also snobbish because there are, in-house counsels who are sitting there. Many of them want to tell the law firm lawyers, you guys are useless. Why are you charging us so much? Okay. Many of them have complex with the people working in, maybe they applied for a law firm job, did not get it. Then they have some, hatchet to, grind against the law firm lawyers. It's not easy anywhere. And even think of it that forget they are not like that. Maybe they are very good and kind and nice, but they are paying you $1 million to, or maybe they are paying you 12 lakhs to draft a shareholder agreement. And if you have made typos in there, if you have referencing errors, they're like, what? Who has done this? Who has done this? Like, we paid 12 lakhs to get this 50-pager document. Who has made, I mean, would you be okay with it? Imagine you are spending 12 lakhs to get something done and there are typos and mistakes, and you will be like, boss, I'm not going to pay your fees if you do this, right? Next time I'm not going to come back to you for your work. So that much is risk is riding on your work. And if you literally, the firm will fire you on the spot if such things happen. Okay, people get fired because of it. Even first time, if you're not fired, second time this happens, you're fired, right? So being diligent and predictable is even more important. And most of the time, your senior will catch it before sending it out, because even the senior will be in trouble if such a thing happens, that the wrong thing went to the client. So senior will also be there. Senior will double check, triple check before sending it. And if they catch mistakes, they are going to really give it to you, because for them, they cannot trust you. You make mistakes. They have to cross-check your work, and they cannot rely on you. So you can say that, yeah, human being is fallible, to err is to human and all of that. But they don't, from their perspective, from the senior associate who's giving you work, from his or her perspective, he cannot rely on you. Okay. He needs to double check, triple check, because you might have made a mistake. And it is exactly the opposite. If they know that they don't have to double check, they don't have to triple check, because if you have done it, then it is correct. Then they are going to, then you're a prized resource. They are going to treat you very well. If the opposite, basically, if they feel you are highly diligent and you won't make a mistake, right? How bad reputation spreads in a law firm. You have to understand this. So maybe that you have made such a mistake, and your senior associate gets shouted at by the partner or his boss, the principal associate, managing associate, whatever, in different law firms. Then senior associate will gossip about you with the other senior associates, and then you will stop getting work from everyone, because everyone is now afraid that if they give work to you, you will make a mistake. Okay. Or maybe you did not, you did something because of which there was a problem. They'll talk about you, and it is your career in that firm might be ruined after that, because people will talk to each other and they will form this collective opinion about you that, oh, you are not reliable, you make mistakes. And after that, it can be very hard for you to find work in that law firm. And then you have to leave, or you will be asked to leave. You will try to make yourself more successful, right? So natural that when you are going into a law firm and you're like, I want to be successful, I want to be good, I want to do good work, blah, blah, blah. But it is not going to work. Your only job is to make your boss successful. This is what people forget, especially when they're young. if you are successful in a law firm, it is because you understand this, that it is your not job to be successful yourself. Your job is to make the senior associate successful, whoever you are working with. Okay, your undying loyalty should be with them, and you are there to make their life easier, job easier. Your job is not to impress the club partner. You cannot impress the partner, and it doesn't matter if you impress the partner. If the people you are working with, the senior associates who give you work, if they are not happy with you, it will not work. It's not going to work. Okay, you have to make your seniors impressed. You have to make sure they are happy with your work. You have to make sure not only happy, they rely on you, they look for you, they give you work. So because they can count on you, they can go home early, because they can give the work to you and go home early. It's literally like that. Your job is to make them successful. If they are successful, only then you can hope for any success. If they are failing, and it doesn't matter how smart you are and how good you are and how impressed other people are in the law firm. Okay, your job is to make your boss successful, and the senior associate job is to make the principal associate successful. Principal associate job is to make the partner successful, right? So that is how it is. Then another problem you will face is that you do not know how to operate in a corporate environment, right? How to connect with people. You might be over friendly, you might be trying to make friends. Maybe you don't have friends in that city and you're trying to be friends with people. That can create problems, surprisingly. You might be not enough friendly towards people. People may think you are not a part of their group or whatever, like, they are, or you might end up doing some gossip somewhere or being a part of some gossip somewhere, which clearly big time backfires, right? So there is a lot of huge huge issues are there, right? So I mean, that's why you have to be very careful in a corporate environment, how to navigate it. Okay, how not to upset people, how not to tick off people, how not to get into some gossips which later on backfire, how not start gossiping about somebody else, not make enemies in your early days, right? It's very important. So one simple example I can give you is that how many of you know about CYA? What is CYA? Have you heard of this term, CYA? Politics is not even talking about politics. Politics is next level, which you probably cannot avoid. But I'm talking about saying or doing things which create barriers for yourself, right? But what is CYA? I'm giving you an example. What is CYA? You don't know what is CYA? CYA is cover your ass. This is a corporate speak. Everybody know you cannot work in a law firm without hearing this CYA, CYA, CYA. So what is CYA? So for example, let's say your boss tells you that okay, you don't have to send this mail to the client today. Whereas he had mailed you saying that, okay, your boss mailed you in the morning saying that by today evening, you have to send this mail out to XYZ client. Okay. And in the evening, you ask your boss that, okay, have you had time to review this? Because I am ready, we can send this out. Your boss says, no, today we are not sending this out. Okay, I don't have time, we will not send it out. Okay. All right. So what is to be done? Now, what will you do? You'll say, oh, very nice. Now he's not checking, I can go home. You'll go home happily, right? No. Before going home, you have to do CYA. What is CYA in these circumstances? Now, imagine he had sent a mail to you, maybe copying other people or not. Okay. You have to write a mail to him saying that, okay, thank you for clarifying that we don't have to send the mail today. Let me know when should I come to you. Tomorrow. But you have it in writing that your boss said that don't send it today. He had instructed you in writing, and you are sending a mail to him saying that you said right now. I mean, don't write it that way. You have to write it politely and nicely, but basically you're putting it in writing that this is, you said that don't send it today, we'll send it tomorrow. So let me know when I should be available tomorrow, and so on, right? So this is CYA. Now, of course, you already had a conversation. Your boss clearly told you don't have to do this right now. So why would you send such a mail? So that tomorrow, if he forgets that he had this conversation, or maybe his client starts creating a much bigger ruckus, and then his boss is telling him, why didn't you send it? Then you have this mail. If ever it comes, push comes to shove, you have this in documented that your boss said that, we'll send it tomorrow. Okay, we'll not do it today. And it is not your fault. So all of this is documented, and all the time it is necessary, and it is same respect to your clients also. And all kinds of things will happen. People will tell you that I will do this work. Don't worry, I'll do this work. And then they'll not do it. But you were supposed to do it. Why didn't you do it? Okay. Somebody will say that, okay, I will bring this book to the hearing, and will not bring it. CYA is cover your ass. Okay. So if you have not then put it in writing and sent a mail about it, or haven't recorded it, recording is basically on email only. How else will you record? You won't keep a phone recording, right? So this is very, very important. If you don't do it, all the failure will be blamed on you. If it can be blamed on you and you do not have a proof, you will be blamed. And then you can say, what is this very unfair thing? Why are you saying this to me? Orally, I had a discussion. People will say, why? Where is your CYA? You haven't done CYA. Okay? You have to do CYA. This is expected in a law firm. If you're not doing a CYA and you get screwed, it is your fault. This is universally accepted in a law firm. Nobody will show you sympathy. They'll say, why didn't you do your CYA? Okay? Got it? How many of you got it? If you have got it, say yes. If you haven't got it, say no. So I know that, we are on the same page. Parth is saying no. He didn't understand. What did you not understand, Parth? Basically, you cannot take people's word for it. You need to have written records of these things. Okay? Can you explain with one more example? Okay, I'll give you another example of CYA. So let's say the client says that we are engaging another lawyer for doing the due diligence. We don't expect you to do it on the phone. Please don't do it. Okay. Now this conversation is not alone enough, because your boss will come and later on tell you that, why didn't you inform me, blah, blah. So you'll first inform your boss. And if the boss confirms that, okay, if the boss may then want to talk to that client, or the boss will say, okay, send a confirmation of this online. So on email. So then you have all of these things in writing, so that nobody can blame you later, because you have an understanding, and this understanding is recorded. And they are not coming back and saying, no, this is not what we said. So if you say that, okay, we are not doing due diligence as per our conversation today, if they reply saying that, no, we want you to do it, then they have an opportunity to clarify, right? But you have written it and shared it. And also you have communicated to your boss, because your boss might otherwise say, hello, why didn't you tell me that your client said it? So maybe I would have gone to the client and convinced the client to give this work to us and not to another lawyer, right? So you communicated to the boss. Not only, maybe you will be calling and informing, but you'll also write a mail. So a lot of time goes in all this bureaucracy in the law firm, but you have to do it. CYA is very, very important. You are having written records of almost everything. Whatever can backfire later, if you can imagine that it can backfire later on you, people can deny something, then or somebody can blame you. So you are going to write it down and create enough evidence so that nobody can blame you later. This is called CYA. Okay. It's going to be very useful, Ashwati. Don't worry. CYA is like necessary. Okay. So how can you avoid these problems? I told you a bunch of problems. I'm going to now give you some solutions, right? So how many of you want the solutions? Can you think of any problems that I could not think of? Okay, who wants a 2 minutes break? I need a 2 minute break. I'll come back in 2 minutes. In the chat, in the meantime, I want you to write what could you think of other problems that you have faced? Maybe I have not addressed it. Maybe I have not mentioned it. So please add that in the chat so that I can then address it. Okay, let's take a 2-minute break, everyone. See you in 2 minutes. Hi everyone. Okay, I'm back. So a lot of interesting questions and comments. You know, as I was thinking for the last 2 minutes during the break, that I don't want you to live with all this fear that, oh my God, it's so bad to work in a law firm. It's actually not. I'm going to tell you how to really crush it in a law firm, how to succeed big time and avoid all these problems, deal with these problems very powerfully, right? Are you able to hear me? Everyone can hear me? If you can hear me, just write yes. So I'm going to give you way out. It's not like I'm going to only tell you the problems. These are the problems. And it's not like there are no solutions to these problems. There are people working in law firms successfully for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, doing well, becoming senior partner from zero to absolutely new. And some people are dropping out. Yeah, a lot of people are dropping out in first year, first 2 years. There are a lot of people who are very successful also, right? So it's not like, hey, I can't succeed in the law firm, it's very bad. That's not the message. The message is that, oh, look, there are these problems. And the problems are problems, and there are solutions for each of the problems. I'm going to talk about the solutions next, right? But before that, let's quickly review some of the things that we have seen here, right? Let's quickly see what are the questions. Misguidance by senior. Yeah. So this happens. There may be some stupid senior who's giving you wrong guidance and then blaming you for all the wrong outcome. This happens. If it is a good organization, they'll soon realize, but maybe they won't realize. Okay, you can't really count on that. So one thing is that document. So whatever guidance they're giving you, maybe you know, wherever possible. Some things cannot be documented, but a lot of things you start documenting, and that's a very good strategy, right? CYA again will help you to save yourself from misguidance. But also, you know, if you have really bad seniors, then change your job. It's not like you are tied with a chain and this is the only law firm where things will work. I understand you cannot change your job too frequently. If you change your job very frequently, it will not be looked at nicely by anybody. So there is a problem, but you're not tied to anybody. Find, you know, that is why you need to prioritize working with a good senior than initial years. Especially you need to find a very good senior rather than a job with a lot of salary or a big brand name. It's important. You may find it in a big company, big law firm, or you might find it in a smaller law firm. What is important is finding that. Okay, how to stay one step ahead with respect to corporate office dynamics. I'll give you advice with respect to that. We'll cover it in the next few slides. Don't worry about that. Focus should be on avoiding errors or keeping track of senior mails and documents, as it might be useful to prove your stand. Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, you should not make errors yourself, but you have to also do CYA. Higher ups assigning multiple work with the same priority or without giving priority and then shouting. This is also a problem. So you can always go and clarify that, okay, this is the situation right now. Communication is always great. That I have all these things right now, and you know, is there a priority within these things? I am not saying it will always work. If you're working with a bad boss, it may not work. That's why it's important to work with the right people. And there are a lot of great people in good law firms. Okay. Lack of proper communication I faced. Yeah. So you have to improve your if their communication is bad, no problem. You have to be superb at your communication. You have to double down on good communication. You have to, that is the way to survive in such situations. If you are also bad in communication, they are also bad, nothing is going to work. Payoja is asking how to manage with low salary in small litigation law firms. Engage with senior on salary hike discussion. You have to know that you are providing a lot of value. Very, very important, right? You need to know that you are providing so much value that it will be hard to find a replacement easily, right? So you have to be so good. There is no really no option around this, that if you're not good, how do I get a good salary? No, not going to happen. You have to be outstanding. And if you're outstanding, then you can go ask for more salary. Okay. How to manage with low salary in a small firm. Another thing is that, you know, how can you increase your contribution? What does the firm need? Can you add something? Can you give something more than you are currently giving? How can you increase your contribution? Because how much money you get paid is always a sub factor, or basically it's a product of how much you contribute to the firm. So if your contribution is very high and they are really, really benefiting from your work, they will give you hikes. You have to become so good that they need you, right? And they'll not be able to just hire somebody else to replace you. So don't become a commodity. Commodity is when it's easy to, just another junior. Anybody can do this. Oh, this work anyone can do. That is a problem. Because if that is the value you bring on table, that anybody can do this, then you are easily replaceable and your salary will not increase. Even if you leave, they'll say, okay, no problem, you can leave if you want. So to change that, you have to be somebody who has a lot more skills a lot more knowledge. That's the only way. Sometimes seniors make you do secretarial or household duties for them, like printing their documents, bringing them coffee. How can we politely deny such requests? A very bad idea to deny such requests in a law firm, because in the law firm, the senior has so much power over you because you are dependent on them completely. So I am not giving you a moral advice. I am giving you strategic advice that it's not a great idea to say no until you have a bargaining power. What is the bargaining power? Is that I am so good that you cannot easily replace me. Or if you have a problem, I'll go get another job, right? That comes from your reputation, from your experience of work, from you doing great work that other people also know that you are really good at your work. Until you have that, it's a really difficult situation. Of course, not all seniors will do this, but some seniors will do this. And one thing you can do before you have joined is to avoid them. After you have joined, you can quit and go find somebody else who will not do this. And the third one is to put up with it, because what else? Like, printing and all, obviously I don't think there is so much wrong to if they're asking you to do printing or something. Household chores is a bit too much. You can say no. If it is too much, if it is crossing your lines, you can say no. But remember that if you say no, there will be a cost to that. It's not going to be like, oh, there is no. I would just say that there is not so much scope for idealism here. Like, if they are like that, if they are really so bad, then they can make your life really bad as long as you're there, right? So you might want to be strategic about all this. Okay, let me read the other words. Karan Garg, during internships, seniors expect you to do some random case research or look up a random law point without explaining the case and context in which it is required. Why does this happen and how to handle it? One thing is that you can ask them the context, but they may not tell you, because basically they are not finding it worthy to spend 10-15 minutes explaining you the whole transaction or the whole work. And it is understandable because they are so busy, they don't have time, they want to go home 15 minutes earlier rather than explaining to an intern all these things. And this is very normal. It is not unusual. You have to understand, and you also have to understand, you have to have some sympathy for those guys, right? It's not like they are doing it intentionally. They are so much under pressure, and very often they don't have a choice. So remember that it's not about what is good for you. It is about what is good for them and how you can support them. As long as you can work with that principle, that how can I make them successful? How can I help them? When they start benefiting from your research, next time they will even start explaining to you. Okay? It's not like they benefit from not explaining, but if they see they are benefiting from your work, then they'll start explaining so that you can do a better job. And a lot of time, interns are being given some random work, irrelevant work, just to keep them busy, just so that they are not sitting idle. So random stuff is being given to them, because the intern is sitting in the office must give something, right? Cannot sit just idle. So they are giving you a lot of irrelevant work just to keep you busy. Doesn't mean it has some real value. So there's nothing to explain honestly. Dominating seniors not getting enough exposure to a variety of work. Explain this further, Shivani. What is the problem? Like, dominating, a lot of seniors are dominating in nature. That is not necessarily a bad thing. Like, what is the problem you are actually facing? That they're shouting at you every day? What is the issue that you're facing, finding to be challenging? Not getting enough exposure to a variety of work. I don't know. You have to tell me more about your specific situation for me to give more advice on this. Incompetent senior who blames his faults on you. Suppose a contract, his corrections are scolded by principal associate and he blames on you. If the principal associate is smart, he'll realize that it is the senior's fault. But like I'm saying that there has to be a CYA. So you have whatever submission you did, right? That has to be there, that this in email, right? You have submitted in email, so your version is clear. And even then, sometimes they'll blame it on you and you have to digest it because there's nothing much you can do. Unless really it is push comes to shove, you are getting fired or something. You don't want to actually make your boss wrong in front of his boss. That's like a dangerous thing to do. Be on your toes even while you are sleeping. Yes, Kanika, that is how it is. Ashwati, do you have to be a yes man in order to successfully thrive in a corporate environment? Where do you draw the line? So yes, you have to be a yes man, sort of, because like I explained, your job is to make your boss successful. So whatever the boss needs, you are supposed to give it. That is how it is. If you don't like it, then probably you should find a different job, right? But you don't have to be a yes man all your life necessarily. It changes, right? As you get within a 5, 6, 7, 8 years, if you are a good lawyer, it changes. Then you have more control over your work. You have more say to what you want to do, what you don't want to do. But right in the beginning, because you are so dependent on your senior, it is actually literally the job. Your job is to be the yes man. Now, drawing the line, obviously, something is crossing into impropriety. You'll have to draw the line, but then you should remember that if you're drawing line in such a way, if you are doing it in a polite way and it works, the guy gets it, he's decent enough. But he's truly indecent and he's a bad guy, and you are drawing the line, you will face the consequences of pissing him off or ticking him off. So you better prepare with your alternatives so that you can actually escape to an alternative option, basically. Must carry a dictaphone like Louis Litt. So the problem is that you can carry a dictaphone, but you're not Louis Litt. So when you start taking out your dictaphone and playing it back to people, they will say, just don't say anything in front of this guy at all. And people may refuse to work with you, and they will it will probably have huge problem. Like, it will create more problem than it will solve. You can't threaten people. When you're a junior lawyer in a law firm and you're threatening people with recording, they'll be like, boss, isko bahar nikalo, right? That doesn't work. You have to align with the system. You cannot fight with the system. You want to fight with the system, start your own law firm, start a new law firm, start something else, build a different kind of system. But if you want to succeed in a law firm, you have to succeed within the system. It's like if you want to succeed as an IAS officer, you have to succeed within that system. You cannot go against that system and succeed. How to do CIA on purely oral conversations? You write a mail saying that this is the conversation we had, so I am accordingly doing X, Y, Z. That is how most of the CYAs are based on oral conversations. Record all conversations and archive mails. You can't record all conversations. And if you start recording all conversations, people come to know, they'll be scared of you, they'll be threatened by you, especially I can't imagine you being able to do it. Not a very realistic option. How to deal with the situation when seniors put all the blame on us using CYA, as we can't argue with seniors also. At the same time, we can't take the blame on us. So the reality is that, does your senior value you as a person? If your senior values you as a person, they will not give you all bullshit work. Like, they will not ask you to do very insulting or unnecessary work. They will not trouble you. They will not blame you. If they're blaming you, one way to see, one is that if that person is bad, we have no control over that, right? We can't go and change his upbringing or change his mindset or change his therapist. We can't do all of that, right? We are stuck, whatever we are facing. But one thing we can work on is that how to become more valuable to that person, so that they are on our side. They are not against us. What can you do that your boss is on your side and not against you? You cannot win this battle if your boss is against you. The question is that how do you prevent your boss from being against you, and how do you ensure that your boss is on your side? Is there any way you can ensure that your boss is on your side? Because if you can't do it, then you are in big problem. You will not succeed in a law firm if your boss is against you. You will only succeed if your boss is in favor of you and really appreciates you and really is in your support. And if it is not going to happen, if you're not going to get along with your boss, please change the job on the first opportunity you get. Swapna, problems really arise when junior associate is sent to a court to attend matter. And trust me, if you think you have problems with senior lawyers have more complaint with junior lawyers. The kind of stupid things that junior lawyers do and the kind of trouble they get the senior lawyers into is not even funny. Can't even begin to tell you. They are scared of their junior lawyers. That what new problem this person will create. And if they get a sensible junior lawyer, they go home and pray to God and thank their God that they have found a good junior lawyer. Not kidding. Okay, so many good senior lawyers are suffering with terrible junior lawyers. Not even funny. Okay, and you might be thinking that I am so good, but you may be terrible. I think I was terrible as a junior lawyer when I was working at Trilegal. Like, this is my opinion. Like, now looking back, that time I thought the world of myself. Now I realize all the mistakes I made and what all blunders I did. Okay, but always, like they say, hindsight is 20/20. With my 10 years of experience, I can understand things which I could not understand back then. Okay, so you have to also put yourself under scanner. What can you do better, right? Can you elaborate about how to keep records for CYA? Email. You have to send it to the senior, otherwise it's not CYA. You can't just keep a draft in your email. Sorry, that doesn't work. Networking and making clients in another task. No one is going to bring clients to you. You create them. Yes, you have to network. You have to bring clients. Until you do, you'll never have freedom. Sir, are these problems too in top tier law firms? Yeah, absolutely. In top tier law firms, second tier law firms, third tier law firms, boutique law firms, everywhere. How much gregarious and egoless you need to be? Very much. You have to sacrifice your ego at this stage. It's a good training. It will help you later also. Is it that junior most rung mostly face hostile environment throughout? No, it is not hostile environment. It is difficult work environment. Some environment may be hostile. I don't know. That have to be seen. But generally, to work in a law firm is a very challenging environment. Acha, I have got like tons of questions. I don't know which ones to take. Some questions are repeated also. Okay, I don't know which ones to take anymore. Okay, I will just jump into my discussion now. Okay, so thanks everyone for your hundreds of questions, but I don't know. Okay, which ones to take. So let's just move on with our discussion and then we can take some more questions later. Okay. So solutions. So one great way to, the first step I believe is to choose an area of interest and develop practical skills in that area. So if you are saying that I want to work as a corporate law firm, you may further choose something that you want to be good at. So for example, you can say that I want to be good at competition law, or you can choose that no, I want to be in banking and finance or M&A and investment law. Whatever area of practice, make sure that it has enough work, large enough teams and enough openings. If you take something very small, it will be a problem. Like for example, funds formation is a very small team. And to land a job definitely in funds formation can be very challenging because there are too few funds formation openings in a year. But if you take something large enough like M&A, banking, even I'll say competition is also very small. I will not encourage people to take competition as an area unless you are very, very sure you love it. I don't know. But generally, if the priority is to get a good job in a law firm, then take a large enough practice area. Arbitration is also fine. There's dispute resolution. It's not just arbitration. Okay, corporate litigation, arbitration, NCLT litigation. So all of these. But yeah, so as long as you have a larger practice area you're targeting, it's a good idea. IPR is also good. There's a lot of IPR work, a lot of IPR law firms, right? Deadlines seem unreasonable at this stage because of knowledge deficit. Yes, absolutely. You don't know where to begin. That's a big problem. If you don't know where to begin, that is a sure shot sign that you need to do a lot of work and you need to start learning, because that's very, very challenging, right? So just decide on area of interest. Seems like interesting enough, like that, okay? Oh, this seems very interesting, and take that and just run with it. Why competition law is not? Because competition law teams are very small. There are no large competition law teams, right? So if you look at a large law firm, there might be 100 lawyers working in M&A investment law, 100 lawyers working in banking, and 5 lawyers working in competition. 5, 6, 7, right? That's it. So you can imagine how many new opportunities and how many openings are there every year in competition law. Very, very few, right? That is the problem. So it's not like it is impossible. There are people who have done competition law, got job in competition law. Our students, our clients have got jobs in competition law with law firms. But it is not an easy one. That's all I'm saying. It's much easier to get a job in a much bigger area of work. Unless you have a terrific knowledge of competition law, love for competition law, you have cultivated yourself in that. That's a different thing, right? So that's the only thing. You take a very small niche, it can be a problem. So choose an area of interest, and you'll never know what is your perfect area of interest, nothing like that. But take something which seems interesting enough and run with it. So what are the bigger areas? Adil is asking: M&A, investment law, banking, finance laws, right? Loan transactions, banking and finance transactions, M&A and investment transactions, capital markets. Okay, not as big but still fairly big. And what else? This is in corporate law, and of course there are other IPR, tax, so many are there, big mainstream areas. Employment law practice very small. Okay, to get a job in a big law firm in employment law practice is really hard. Okay, so I don't want to get a discussion of practice areas today. So of course you have to get enough practical knowledge. What is the practical knowledge? Like we are discussing now, if let's say you want to work in M&A, right? So how much do you need to know about M&A? So definitely you should know about all the statutes that deal with M&A, takeover code, FDI policy, Companies Act, right? NCLT, some rules maybe. Now that is important. Now, if you are going to do banking, then again, you have to know where to look up the circulars of RBI. You have to know, what are the statutes and regulations and rules apply to different kind of transactions. You need to know, drafting of shareholder agreements or term loan agreements. Okay, securitization documents, and you have to know stuff like in that area what work the lawyers are doing, and that is where you can watch our yesterday's discussion. It is still on YouTube, that what is the work that corporate lawyers do and what you need to know to do that work. Not yesterday, a couple of days back we had. So choose an area of interest and develop practical skills. Then you have to make sure that your English is really good. Honestly, there is no working in a good law firm if your English is not good. Is there many people of you here have actually worked in a law firm? So what happens if you make grammatical mistakes, or if you make any mistake with respect to English, you will be instantly insulted. There's no question. There's nobody will say, oh, it's okay, it's your second language or whatever. Instantly you will be insulted. Anybody can tell me what happens if have you seen what happens when people make mistakes in language? Insult is off the charts. Yes, Rupsha, yeah, that's true. You get ripped apart, right? Very, very bad. Like, you know, if they're insulting you, maybe they're still they're hoping that next time you'll get it right. If they think that you have no hope, they will just sideline you and ignore the hell out of you. Never talk to you, never give you any work. Okay? That's how it is. Even as an intern, right? You just cannot hope. Like, you know, if your English is not really, really good, then do not expect to do anything in a law firm. You're just gone. Like, don't even think about it, right? So definitely, if you have time, spend time perfecting your English. If you want to work in a law firm, and if your English is good, then that's like the ground floor. I mean, conversation starts from here. If it is not good, there is no, yeah. Okay, I mean, nothing is going to work. Another big problem is that I am very smart. This is not going to work in a law firm. Okay, there are still people who are smarter than you. Even if they are not smarter than you, maybe you have more intelligence and they are not as intelligent as you. Doesn't matter, because they have worked for 5 years, 10 years, whatever, and they know exactly what they want. They know much more about what the firm needs, what is to be done. So you have to really set aside this mindset that I am very smart, because really it doesn't matter how smart you are. Okay, this is the problem. I'm very smart does not work. Then relationships matter a great deal. Okay, remember that the relationships you will build. We have talked a lot about bad relationships in law firms. Trust me, there are great relationships also. Okay, so there's a friend I still have today who was a senior at Trilegal. We are still friends, and we have helped each other a lot in terms of our career. Some seniors have totally given me so much love, so much care, so much support when I left, when I started something. It's amazing. It's a different thing that they were not my immediate seniors, but doesn't matter, right? So there are those people also that I am not even in their team, and they're so nice, so supportive, so friendly. Amazing, right? Just so good. So, and those relationships will matter. Even your relationship with your immediate seniors will matter a lot. If you have brilliant relationship with your seniors, that is, I would say, half the battle won. It doesn't matter if the whole firm, what they think about you. No. Your immediate seniors who give you work, do they like you? Forget, are they impressed by you? Do they like you even? Do they trust you? Do they want you to succeed? Because if they want you to succeed, there is 90% chance you will succeed. Okay, if they don't want you to succeed, you will not succeed. And this is very, very important. Relationships matter a great deal, right? So you have to be liked by your immediate seniors. This is like the name of the game, right? And they have to be kind to you, they have to be good to you, and you have to be good at building strong relationships. Then you have to learn how to follow instructions and chain of command. It is almost like military, that you have to follow your instructions like that, and you have to respect your seniors like that. In the military, nobody asks you that, oh, do I have to be a yes man of my boss? Oh yes, you'll have to be a yes man of your boss. 100%, no question, right? It is only yes sir, thank you sir, that's it. There is no sir. I mean, whatever there is only one right answer. Nobody wants to know how intelligent you are. And I would say, I am proposing this to you, that think of law firms also to be a very similar environment, where the chain of command is very important, and to follow instructions like the army is important. Okay, very, very important. Extensive internships in the area of practice will set you up for success. Okay, so if you are managing to do a lot of, say you are still a student, not already a lawyer, And one thing you can do is extensive internship. The more internships you do round the year, it doesn't matter if 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day after college, just try to do internship round the year. It will really, really set you apart. A lot of people say, Ramanuj, we don't have money. We don't have, what can I do? Somebody just now saying your course is very costly. See, you can, one thing I say is that you can do freelance work and earn money. Recently, I did a webinar explaining, and it is on YouTube again, where I explained that how can you earn money by doing freelance work. Okay, you can do freelance work and earn money. Earning 5,000-10,000 a month is no challenge, guys. It's very easy to earn that much money. Okay, even more. As a student, you can do some paralegal work, help some startup with some things, and you can earn that 5,000-10,000 by working 3-4 hours a day. But you have to do internship around the year. You have to work really hard. I don't have any solution that is less work, but extensive internship in the area of practice will, if you can't afford any course, you have no money, you can't do anything, at least do internship extensive. That will be the saving grace. Okay, because in that you will be able to build relationships. During that long internship, you will be able to understand how firms work, what is the work culture, what is expected of you. You will be able to observe people. Extensive internship. If you can't do nothing, at least do extensive internships. Never stop interning. Don't say I have exams coming up, now I can't intern. That exam will not make a difference in your life, but that internship will. Okay, so you know how to pass your exams. I have full faith in you. But if you don't do those extensive internships, you will not succeed. But very hard, very hard. Okay, we are not able to intern. You can do online intern, remote internship. Find it. How you, I don't know, but you have to really work hard and get those. There are virtual internships. Do that. Find mentors who have succeeded in that area of practice. Okay. So you have to find mentors who can guide you a little, somebody who's kind enough to tell you, advise you. Like I told you about CYA, it will make such a difference. And there are so many other things also. In specific situations, sometimes you just need that advice, somebody to tell you. I can tell you, today I'm working on how to get foreign lawyers and law firms to get work to our students. Okay. And I am working on this for the last 2 months. Okay. And I am trying to figure out how to get this from foreign lawyers and law firms to give work to us, to our law students, right? To give an opportunity. Some are giving, but I want more. I already spoken to a few and I want to speak to more. I want to speak to 100 people in the next one. So what I did, I was not able to figure out how to do this right. So I went and spoke to somebody who built $100 million company of BPO. It's not a BPO, it's like a technology company, services outsourcing they are doing from US, UK, Dubai, everywhere, all the markets, but in technology. So I called him and I said, hi, Abhishek, can you guide me? And before this session today, I had a 15 minutes call with him. Okay, he gave me time. He gave me time like several days back. Then on Monday, I'll talk to you for half an hour. It didn't even take half an hour. I spoke to him for 15 minutes. But he gave me concrete advice on what to say, how to say. And it is such a big difference. Actually, in the whole conversation, 2 minutes was important. And in that 2 minutes, I got exactly what I need to do when I approach these law firms and how to speak to them. Because he has 10 years of experience of doing this, not 10 years, 20 years of experience. He's one of the best in the world in this. Now that I got his advice, it is so much more easy for me to actually go and execute. So when you are doing something difficult, it's important to find people who have succeeded in that particular thing. And even if they give 2 minutes of their time to you, 5 minutes of their time to you, and if you ask the right questions, you will get answers which will speed you up like anything, which I would have discovered after 6 months, he told me in 2 minutes. That is the difference that a mentor makes. Okay. Start working with startups to learn how to navigate professional environments. Okay. This is also I strongly recommend. Those of you are saying that I can't get a job with a law firm. Sure. No problem. Can you work with startups? There are so many startups. They are hungry for talent. They want somebody to come and at least, work with them. They are struggling to find interns. Go work with some, okay, you can't get into a law firm. Go at least intern with a startup. Okay, not a startup like LawSikho, which is already grown to a certain extent, but much smaller. 10 people team, 20 people team. Okay, doing a 1 crore turnover in a year or less. Such people are finding it hard to even find good interns. Go there, work with them, get experience from them. Learn professionalism, how to navigate professional environment, how to interact with seniors, how to support them, how to talk to them, how to email them, how to get instructions from them, how to follow that instruction. These are critical learnings, and you can get it by working with a startup, even a small startup, which is willing to take you, right? There would be some small business which will be willing to take you as an intern, even if not some big law firm, right? And I have done a whole webinar on how to find internships with startups anywhere in India. People tell me that, oh, I am in a small city. I'm in Siliguri. It's a very small city. Here, there is no startup. Have you Googled if there are any startups? I'm in Indore, there are no startups there. Have you Googled if there are any startups in Indore? Lots of them are there. Every small town has a lot of startups today, hundreds. There is a list of startups on the startup.𝗳𝗵𝗹𝗶 is a website where all the startups are listed, Startup India website. Okay, could you please share the link to that webinar? I'll do it towards the end. I have to start looking for it on YouTube, then I'll find it, but it's a lot of work. I'll do it. Okay, I'll do something. Just remind me towards the end. I'll note it down and I'll send an email to all of you and join the WhatsApp group. So I'll share it on the WhatsApp group also. All these links. Okay. So start working with startups to learn how to navigate professional environments, and it will give you confidence. It will give you experience. When you are actually interning with a law firm, then you will do better. And not only that, if you have done a good job with the startup and you request them to give you, the startup must be working with some law firm, some lawyers, they'll give you a recommendation that, hey, this person did a great job for us. He's looking for an internship. Can you take him in? And people will take you in for that. Okay. Try to get some experience of doing freelance work while you're a student. If you truly want to understand what it is to do to be a professional, when you do freelance work, you are even getting paid small amount of money. Maybe you are doing some research work or some paralegal work, getting paid 5,000, 6,000 rupees in a month for that work, 4,000, 3,000, I don't know, very small amount. Even then you learn what is the responsibility of taking money from somebody for doing some work, and what is the quality standard that is expected. Because when you are a kid, you have no responsibility, right? You are like, if I made a mistake, I'll say sorry. If I forgot to do it, I'll say sorry. If I did not do it, I'll plead and say, please let me do it now, and they'll let you do it. This is not how professional world works. And when you start working professionally, maybe you'll get shouted at, maybe you'll get blasted, or you'll not get paid because you did not do it properly. But that experience will teach you how to be a professional, how to take pride in your work, how to make sure the other person before you is getting value from you. Because right now, I assure you, if you're not a professional, you are a selfish person. You just are trying to take more and more for yourself. You don't really care about the guy in front. That is what happens when you're starting out. When I started my career, I was thinking about myself. I was not thinking how to make my boss successful. I was thinking how to be successful myself, how to glorify myself. I was not thinking what do my boss want? What does my boss want? What does he need? What does he need in a junior? What is he really asking from me? How can I make him successful? If I did that, it will be very different. But I did not have the sense to do that because I was so young. And that's not an excuse. It's just that I didn't know better, right? But if you flip it and say that, okay, my job here is to make my boss successful, and it is not about me, it's about them. That will change, and that will happen when you start doing freelance work. Because when you have to go out and get a client, you have to make a bunch of promises. You have to convince them to give you work. It's not easy to convince them to give you work. Why should they give work to you? Okay. Vinita Panhale is asking, can I get a chance to work with a law firm if I have gap in practice of 5 years due to motherhood? Sure, you can. I mean, there is no problem. You can. I know people who have done successfully. How can I find a good mentor as a fresher? Just think about it. Who do you want to be your mentor? Who's good enough to be your mentor? Who can you learn from? And then ask them, request them, beg them. And if you ask 10 people, maybe 1 or 2 will agree. Or maybe 1 will agree. If you ask 20 people, maybe 1 will agree. But you have to ask. There is the only way. You have to ask people, request people. And many people are honestly happy to help you. And if they find you to be a hardworking, diligent, sincere person, they'll be flattered that you approach them for guidance. And start slowly, and then you will find mentors. Don't worry about it. Try at least, you will find. I have not heard anybody who tried to find mentors and did not find. Figure out how to add more value to the person you are reporting to, right? It's very important that you are always trying to deliver for the person that you are reporting to. Someone in a law firm, how can you make sure that they are very satisfied with you, very happy with you? They feel that you are indispensable. They need you. How can you do that? Because that is only when the power will change. The power dynamics change when they need you. Okay? Can you do such great work that they need you desperately more than you need them? I mean, you need them, sure, for the salary hike, for bonus, for promotion. But do they need you? Do they need you badly enough? Because if they need you badly enough, then you have some power in the equation. And that the way to do that is to figure out how to add more value to the person you are reporting to. Perfecting communication and leaving no scope for ambiguity. So your communication has to be non-ambiguous and always very, very clear. If you have to write 5 lines extra to make it more clear, then you will be writing 5 more lines extra to make it clear, and you will not write and think that, oh, they'll understand what I'm writing. How will you handle office politics? So some people said that, office politics is there, it's so difficult, how to handle. So can anyone tell me how to handle office politics? I want to hear from you. This is very curious. By the way, I've written a whole article on how to handle office politics. You can read it, but I am going to tell you. But before that, I want to hear, what do you think? How do you handle office politics? Be aware of it. Don't participate in it. Very nice. Very interesting. What else? Not react. I don't even know what is office politics. Great. Anybody else? Diplomatic behavior, remain a mute observer. Never bitch about your boss. Be friends with everyone. Set boundaries. Okay, so few things about office politics. Number one is that it is unavoidable. There will be politics in every organization, but good organizations have less politics, less and less. And old organizations have a lot of politics. They have institutional history of politics, and there are like different factions and different things. You don't want to get caught in some kind of a wildfire. You don't want to get caught in a fight between 2 groups. So what is important to survive politics? One is that you need to have anywhere. It is like this. You need to have some powerful people, 1 or 2 at least, on your corner. right? If you don't have people on your side, then you are vulnerable. It's problematic anyway, right? I'm not saying go actively participate in a politics, plan against somebody. No, it's not like that. Just be on the good books with somebody who is important enough in the system. It is important, and it is not important when you are very young. Like first 1 year, you don't have to worry about all these things. Okay, but eventually, basically your faith is tied to the fate of your boss. So if your boss rises through the hierarchy fast, you also rise. If he doesn't rise, nothing happens to you. That is how it works in law firms. So look after your boss's interest. This is important. But beyond that, remember that never ever bitch about anyone. Not about your boss 100%. That is like a sin, like a terrible idea. But very important, never bitch about anyone. If you can avoid bitching about people, that itself will help you a lot to steer clear of politics. Sometimes you cannot avoid people bitching about somebody in front of you. You can keep quiet. Sometimes to walk away is also rude. You can't do that. But avoid as much as possible. Don't be part of gossip circles. And remember that your boss, if your boss you have a good equation, is your boss important enough in the system to protect you? Can he protect you? It is important. Because politics will be there. Okay. But if your boss cares about you, and if you're important enough into the system, your boss will protect you, and the commercial things will protect you. The fact that you are such a useful resource will protect you, and nothing else will protect you. If you really are victim of politics, the other thing is to leave. There is nothing else. Okay. But, as a very young lawyer, when you first 1 year, it will probably not affect you. You are too small in the whole thing. You don't matter in the whole scheme, right? Just make sure you don't go into some gossip sessions and participate in all this spreading of rumors and stuff like that. Stay away from it. Okay. It will take you a while to learn what to get where in the firm. Like even basic things you will not know when you are joining a law firm. For example, how to handle the clerks, what to expect from the secretaries, how to get work done by the librarians. There's a whole lot of things, right? And this will impact your work. The administrative issues will impact your work. So try to have a good relationship with the administrative people. Learn how to work with them and where to go. I mean, you need to at least have somebody to guide you. So have those people who will guide you a little about what to do, where to do, how to do. Because this is a challenge. You will not be able to. And if you start calling your reporting associate for everything, that hello, where do I get the printout? Hello, is there a password for the printer? Hello, what do I do? What, where, blah, blah, blah. Try to find some administrative person who knows all this and will explain to you. Okay, and you have a good relationship so that you can get such information from them. Because if you keep calling or talking to your senior associate about such things, they'll not appreciate because they are already under so much pressure and their time is precious. Make sure you are not wasting too much of their time. Know that you do not have to succeed at a particular law firm. This is very important, right? So I had one senior from college, and within 2 years, he had changed 4 law firms. He was in each law firm 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. It's a miracle that how was he getting those jobs also, because if you do it twice and getting a 3rd job is very difficult. He's a brilliant guy, very smart guy. He's a partner in a big law firm now in capital markets. And he was not able to stay in the same law firm. Now he has stayed for many years in that firm. But he changed 4th law firm. And I asked him that, why, I mean, are you not worried that it will impact your track record and all? He said, Ramanuj, it will impact me anyway if I stay in a bad law firm. So as long as I'm getting another job, I'm ready to move. Because if it is not working for me, it's not working for me. And I believe it will work somewhere. Because I'm a good lawyer. Even if I have to change 3 jobs, 4 jobs, maybe in 5th job, I will land somewhere where I like it and it will work there. Okay. And I think that's great strategy. If you have the luxury of being able to find another job, please move from a bad job and bad boss and toxic work environment and so on. It's a very smart thing to do, because there are really great teams to work in and there are bad teams to work in. So many people who are treated like rubbish in one place, and I have seen them moving to another law firm and being treated like a prized associate. Wow, you are so good. And they were good even before. But maybe the previous team did not have enough work. Maybe the previous team had too much time to do politics. And part of the politics was this, telling people that, you're shit and you're not good enough and blah, blah, blah. And then they move to a new firm and then they are on partner track because they are very highly productive resource. This also happens. And maybe it is not the fault of the previous firm. Maybe you're just not a good fit, whatever. There is no point overthinking this. But you remember that it's not that you're not succeeding in one law firm or in one team. You need to try again with another place, and high chances that you might be a good fit there. Sometimes the environment is just not right for you, or maybe you need to start from scratch again, whatever. It is better to do that rather than spending years and years in a place where you do not belong, you're not succeeding. Move on. There are plenty of bad bosses in law firms. There is very little you can do if you are with one, you're working with a really bad boss, except for keep moving. You have to move on, right, as soon as possible. Because there are bad bosses and there's no advice I can give you as to that will make it okay. But remember that even a bad boss, you can win over. Everybody is a human being. They are not born with some monstrous genes or something like that. They are not serial killers. They are just human beings with some maybe anger issues, maybe something else. And bad bosses also find it very hard to find good juniors. So if you can find a way to work with them, if you can find a way to make things work, then they will value you and they will treat you even better than anybody else. But you have to figure out how to make it work, how to take them on your side, how to become indispensable in such a way that they need to treat you well. It cannot be an option. It has to be a compulsion for them. So there are people, I know so many people who are able to figure this out, that they take bad bosses and turn them into the best boss possible, simply because they have won over the boss in such a way and that the boss really badly needs them. There is no option. They treat you very well. However, make sure, and the only way to do this, make sure that you know your work. You know your work really well and you are good at it. And you don't depend on the boss to teach you your work. Right? And Shruti is asking how to cope with the mental health while working in such an environment. So I think, mental health is something that cannot depend so much on the external environment. If you have, admittedly, to work in a law firm where it is so much pressure, you need to have very strong mental health, very strong physical health. You have to be really smart about how you navigate tricky situations, because it's not an easy place to work in. Maybe some small law firms are easy to work in, but big law firms with so many teams, so many partners, never easy places to work in. Only some people are able to work there. Okay, so and there are benefits of working there. Many people are very successfully working for decades. Now, you have to have very good mental and physical health to work so much, to deal with so much, and perform so much, right? So, and by the way, it is not so hard. Like, for example, imagine that you are joining a law firm, but you know all the work and you are exceeding people's expectation. Everything changes. Now, then you are a prized associate. People want to make you happy. They want to take you out for dinner because you are so good. Yeah. You are such a prized resource. They don't want to lose you. So they want to do things for you so that you don't go away to another place or another team, another law firm. They want to retain you. They want to treat you and treat you extra good. That also happens in law firms, in the same law firms. Why? Because somebody is so good, have so much knowledge, and they don't have to be taught and trained. They are not making mistakes. Why are they not making mistakes? Because somehow they have learned the work already and they're coming knowing all these things. So make sure that you know the work and you're good at it. That will be a game changer. The same bad boss who's shouting at you suddenly will treat you like you are an asset. And I have seen this happen. Do not rely on seniors to teach you beyond some light touches. Some light touches, acha, aise mat karo, aise karo, acha, write it like this. Okay, no, this is the interpretation. That is okay. But if they're having to teach you a lot and correct a lot of mistakes, they have to send you back with your work. Sorry, this is not acceptable. Then you are in problem. It will cost you. Even if they teach you, it will cost you. What cost, I don't know. It can be self-respect. It can be lesser bonus. It can be getting fired. What cost, I do not know. But some cost, serious cost will be there if you are expecting your seniors to teach you beyond some light touches. Okay. I have a bunch of workshops coming up, by the way, that we would be exploring these themes even further. Okay. We'll go deeper in various aspects of working in a corporate law firm. Okay. And we'll talk about how to get a job in a big law firm, boutique law firm, compare the environment of a law firm with a company, what different skills you need to work in a company as a corporate lawyer and in a law firm. All of these we are going to discuss. Okay. So here are the webinars, December 8, 9 p.m. That is tomorrow. What can I do as a law graduate struggling to find a job? Okay. So if you are, many of you asked that, I'm not able to get a job. I'm not able to get even an internship. What to do, how to do. See, I cannot cover everything in the same session, right? So I'm going to take care of this tomorrow. Then there is a question of many people ask me how to develop a career in patent law specifically. Last month, I covered a lot of things on IP law. December 9, I'm going to cover things on patent law. December 10, why are so many lawyers underpaid in India and what they can do about it? This is something I'm going to cover on December 10. December 11, what does it take to earn at least 2 lakhs per month as a lawyer independently? I'm going to cover this on December 11th. December 12th, what are the skills that can help me to get a job as a corporate lawyer in 2021? What are the areas that I can focus on? Or what skills I need to develop in 2021, which is especially attractive? December 13, how does corporate law as a career compare with litigation? Because many of you have this thing, should I go into litigation or corporate law? Even within a corporate law firm, you can do corporate litigation, corporate disputes, and I'm going to talk about that on December 13. December 14, what kind of clients pay the most money to corporate lawyers and what are their expectations? So this is also very important if you're going to work in a corporate law firm. December 15, what are the advantages of becoming a corporate lawyer, right? What are the disadvantages? Like we talked about some disadvantages today, but I'm going to tell you other disadvantages compared to other career options, right? And December 16, I have another workshop, inside the workings of a 1 crore per year corporate law practice and how to set it up. And it will also help you to understand if you are going to work in a law firm, which is a small law firm, where they are doing 1 crore per year turnover. So 4-5 lakhs they're earning per month, right? It's a small team, maybe 2, 3, 4 lawyers. But there are many such law firms and they are really good place to start learning your work. Could be really good. Not all of them are good. Many of them are pretty good. Startup law firms, small law firms. And how does it work and how you can build it one someday? Like imagine that, you heard so many problems of working in big law firms. Many people want to work independently. Like I could never work in a law firm. I don't think I would, even if I can, I would want to. Okay, because it's my personality trait, right? I'm fiercely independent. I love experimenting. I love to try out new projects. I would not be able to do this in a law firm. Okay, because law firms have very clear business models. Do this, do this, do this, go home, take your check, right? But that's not how I am. I like to innovate. I want to create new products, new services, research, teach, build a public profile. I won't be able to do this in a law firm. Similarly, there are many people I know who within a few years start their own law firm, maybe after working for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. One of my friends from Trilegal, after 4 years experience, when I left, he also left and he started his own law firm. And he runs a very good law firm today, earning multiple crores a year, right? I think couple of crores a year doing turnover. Very small team, maximum 3-4 lawyers at a time, doing very good work, having a lot of free time in the day because it is all managed well. And it is possible, and not only one, there are many such people who have done this successfully, and they have good clients, they have a reputation, they have their own small law firm, and it's easy to do, right? So I don't want to take names, I haven't gotten their permission, but I have many such friends. Okay, and you can also look at, maybe someday I have invited them in the past on the channel and we have spoken. In the future I will again, and they'll come and explain. I'll on 16th December I'll try to bring somebody, 1 or 2 people who will be there to explain how did they build their law practice to 1 crore per year and beyond. Most of them have gone much beyond 1 crore. So how to do this, right? So this is a workshop on 16th December. So starting from client acquisition to hiring to what it takes to deliver that much work, what are the challenges, do you need to have an office, multiple things, right? People who want to build their own law firms, we'll discuss this on 16th of December. Okay, we have got the link. Awesome. Let me share the link with all of you. Super. Here is the link, guys. People who are watching this on YouTube also, please join this chat WhatsApp group link. I don't know how much space is there in this. I have a suspicion that, are you guys able to join it? Like, is there enough space in the group, or do I need to give you another link? Please tell me quickly. Are you guys able to join it? Yes, no, maybe? Yeah, it's working. Fantastic. Okay. Super. And I'll maybe share another link in WhatsApp, sorry, in YouTube, just in case this runs out of space. So, you should register, right, for this webinars. Where can you register and where can you register for the workshop? The workshop page, I'm afraid, is still not up. Okay. But you can join lawsikho.com/webinars for some of the webinars that are already live. You can actually go and join here. You'll be able to see the webinars here. I'll show you on the screen. And I'm going to answer your questions. Don't worry. You can. Okay, it is full. Oh, damn it. It's already full. Just give me a moment, guys. I'll find it. Let me show you this. I'll share another link of another group. Okay, in 2 minutes. So here is the webinars that are coming up. You can see how can I build a career as a corporate lawyer by Komal Shah. Okay. Then I have upcoming webinars. You can see, you can register here. You just have to click like this, register now, and you can register here, right? So make sure that you are registered, right? So that we can share you the link by email and stuff. And I'm going to find you the new group link and I'm going to share that with you. Trying to find it. So this group got full basically. That's what I was worried about. I need to give you the link of one more group. Where is it? Oh yeah, I found it. Okay, the group now I am sharing, this has some free space. Okay, I think a bunch of free space is there in this one. So you guys can join here. Maybe 10-15 spaces are there. Okay. One more link shared. This group will also become full quickly soon enough. So join quickly. And if you have friends who wants to join, you can always write a mail to us, right? You can, also you must follow me on Twitter so that we can be in touch. Tomorrow you might have more questions which you want me to answer. Best place to ask me is to tweet at me and ask. And here is my, and if you want to ask me in private, you can DM me on Twitter. That is also an option. So here you go. This is my Twitter profile. I've shared in chat in both places. I look forward to being connected with all of you on Twitter. And that is also a great place where I keep sharing. If I do some special workshop, webinars, anything, it is usually shared on my Twitter profile. So if you follow me on Twitter, that's another benefit. LinkedIn profile, you can just look for Ramanuj Mukherjee on LinkedIn, but problem is that I won't be able to accept your connection on LinkedIn because I have already crossed 30,000 connection limits and I have already around 40,000 followers. So you can follow me on LinkedIn if you want, but the best place to connect with me, and then you can see my Twitter, LinkedIn updates if you follow me on LinkedIn. And I keep sharing a lot of insights and ideas and information and articles there on LinkedIn. But definitely it will be much better if you follow me on Twitter, because there are fewer people on Twitter and there is no restriction on how many people I can follow back. So it helps me. Okay. All right. But if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, go ahead. My name is Ramanuj Mukherjee. You can look for me on LinkedIn and follow me back. And I'll also follow you back. If you send me a message to follow you back, I can follow you back. I do not mind. All right. So great. Super. And now questions. Let's answer some questions. There are some people from WhatsApp group taking our numbers and messaging about unwanted jobs, etc. Please block all those people. See, it's a WhatsApp group. I can't control beyond. You let us know which person is doing this, so we can immediately remove them. Right? We can remove them from the WhatsApp groups and we can block them permanently. And you should block them also and report their profile. You should, if you all start reporting their profile, their WhatsApp number will get blocked. So they will stop doing all this nonsense, right? So it is my humble request, please help us and block them and report them on WhatsApp. Okay. What should we do as an intern while we are being loaded up with work which is not in our domain? What kind of work? I mean, if it is work, then you better do it. Why can't you do that work? What is wrong with that work? Explain further. Why do you not want to do that work? In an organization as an intern, if you are given some work, do a very good job, such a good job that they'll give you better work. But do not expect high quality work when you have no trust. They don't know how good you are. They'll give you all kind of small work only. Even if you're a lawyer, associate, I told you how I was given very, clerical work. I was thinking it is beneath my standard, but the only way to succeed is to do that work so well that they start giving you better work. Okay. So do not say any work is too small, but tell me what is the work? Like if they're asking you to make tea and, wash their car, then that's a really unacceptable. But otherwise, why can't you do it? Right? It is work. Why not do it? Entire day they say read, read, read. So read, is it useful? Is there any output? Okay, if you read, are you writing something out of it? Like that's also important, because what to watch out for when you are intern is that there is no utility of the work you're doing. They are just making you sit and do some bullshit work which has no utility. Then that's a problem. Workshop link could not be found in the webinar section. That will be shared in the WhatsApp group. We will share it tomorrow. We'll share on the WhatsApp group. Please be on the WhatsApp group. Has it ever happened where a lawyer asked the intern to wash their car and get coffee? Not even intern. Lawyers have asked their juniors to do this, and those juniors have complained to me, saying that this lawyer is asking me to wash his car. Should I continue here or should I leave? Please leave, right? Do you think writing one article per day on my subject area will make me more useful to my law firm? Absolutely. See, law firms today, some of my students are working with foreign law firms writing articles. Okay, because they are good at writing articles, they're good at content marketing, especially abroad. There's a huge demand for such people. Okay, so and if you're writing regular articles, it is a great sign that you're a scholar, you are very knowledgeable. Imagine if you have written 50 articles, you have knowledge of 50 subjects in depth. You can talk about 50 topics in that area of work. That's so amazing, fantastic. Okay, so please do that. Please write a lot of articles. It will do world of good to your profile, your chance of getting a job, everything. Okay, bunch of questions I have got. Let me see one by one. Sir, if we have a psyche in M&A, but we are being provided with intellectual property, Pranab, don't do all this, okay? Whatever you are getting, you do it, and then build a good profile in M&A now. So, and then apply to the law firm which is enough M&A work, or that is later. Now, whatever you are getting, you excel in that. If you are doing an internship, excel in that. Someday you are going to be glad that you did such good intellectual property internship, okay? Make sure whatever you get, maybe is this internship for 1 month, 2 months, excel in it. Do so well that tomorrow they will be happy to refer you to another law firm, right? Do not say anything that this is not good enough. Is it okay to work as a research assistant and legal writer? Ayushman, it is one of the most brilliant things you can do. Work as a research assistant and a legal writer. I advise people who are, someone comes and say, I am not getting a job. I have a break of 3 years because of my marriage, because I was practicing in law in some court, local district court and all. So this is a great idea. Become a research assistant for a principal associate in a law firm. Help them to write articles. Help them to spread their wings and do more webinars, get more publicity. Help them. Because if you are helping them and you are so useful, tomorrow they'll hire you. It's a great strategy. Work with principal associates, help them in their career, and tomorrow they'll help you. Okay, it's a great thing to do. What other questions we have? Saurav Singh, what skills needed to approach needed to attach with startups for convincing them that they can trust? So startups, if you know nothing, you can still get a job in a small startup. But if you know compliance, if you know contract drafting, if you know some, compliance and contract drafting primarily, I'll say, if you know about these things, then you can go and startups and start helping startups with some of these things, right? Many startups don't even have a lawyer in their team, mostly until they become a 100 people startup or 70 people startup, unlikely that they'll have a lawyer. But you can work with their CFO, you can work with their accountant and start helping with compliances, start helping with some contracts, if you know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, you can't. Okay, so you have to get that knowledge. I didn't do any internship in 5 years, but now I want to shape my career in corporate law. So how can I do this? It is, so come tomorrow, come for tomorrow's session, right? We're talking about if you're a graduate and you haven't, now how can you get a job? So make sure you come for my webinar tomorrow, day after. I'm going to discuss in depth how to solve this problem. I want to start working on commercial law. What should I start with? I'm not sure what to write. Okay, so write about startups, investments, M&A, what are the things that are happening, what are the challenges people are facing today with their work. Start reading and you will find a lot of things, and then you can start writing about that. Okay. What is the best course at LawSikho for one who have done LLB, cleared 1 or 2 module, cleared of CS, along with working as an advocate for 2 years, so that by doing LawSikho course you will able to at least earn 50,000. I think contract drafting is very good. You can do, I think contract drafting is no-brainer, because contract drafting is useful everywhere, right? No matter what job you do, if you are good at contract drafting, that is like one base covered. So you can start with contract drafting. I would recommend something like a master access, if you can afford it, right? It is 50,000 rupees for 1 year. So if you can afford like a master access or something, that is also a great idea, right? Then you can learn all the different things from a master access 1 year subscription, or there's a 4-year subscription, so you can sign up for that. That way you can really do all the courses that whatever is relevant for you. But if you can do only one, then you should go for contract drafting, because contract drafting is useful in everywhere. No matter what you do, contract drafting will always help. What is a good strategy to change law firm for improvement in salaries and for better opportunity? You should think of long term. Most people make a big mistake of short term. If they are given a 5,000 hike, they'll go to another place. This is not good. What is important is to find a very good boss, somebody who's rising star and attach yourself with such a rising star. Automatically you will get a lot of momentum. So it's not like keep changing jobs for salary increase for 5,000, 10,000. It's not worth it. You might be earning more in 1 year, but if you look at a long horizon, you lose money. Okay. So it is better if you work in the same law firm for many years. It has always worked better for people in the long run. But short run, you might make a little more money. I don't recommend changing law firms again and again, unless there is some very good reason to do so. Okay, very good reason to do so, then it's okay. If there is any question from YouTube, how good is MNLU placement? MNLU is a very new law college, law school. So far, it's nothing to be very excited about. I think from what I have heard, I don't have too much information about this, but it's not like they are having really good placements. Maybe few people are getting placed, and there's an advantage of being in Mumbai and all of that, but it's not, I mean, as per my information, I haven't heard too many good things about it. Many people are struggling to find jobs from MNLU also, but it is a new law school and we hope it will improve over the years, right? It has a chance to scope to improve. Maybe next year it will be better and they'll slowly get better, but they have a locational advantage definitely. Hopefully it will be better in future. What role does mooting play in getting a job in a law firm? It plays no role. It has no specific that, oh, you are a great mooter, we'll hire you. It's not like that, Madhu. Doesn't work like that. But yeah, let's say you have won a moot and there you meet a law firm partner and you can request them that, how can I apply for internship? Maybe they'll say, okay, apply, we'll see. Because you are a smart young person, and a winner in the moot, so they might be willing to help you with an internship. That's about it. Beyond that, nobody's going to say, oh, you have a moot, win, you won a moot, come, I'll give you a job. No. Or, oh, you have won a moot, or you have not mooted, so I'll not give you a job. It's not like that. That is absolute nonsense. If somebody is telling you that mooting is going to help you get a job in a law firm, they know nothing about law firms. They are bluffing you. You should call their bluff. Okay. Winning moots, doing moots has nothing to do with getting a job in a law firm. Is mental health excusable for internship gap for next internship? How to put it on CV? Nobody checks you have a gap in internship. People expect that there'll be gap between 2 internships, right? So how does it matter that, nobody cares really about internship gap. I'm studying second year LLB. Shall I join as intern to learn? Oh yeah, please start interning from your first year as much as possible. Intern as much as possible. It is the best thing you can do. Anirudh Agarwal, I'm very informal in my conversation with my seniors. I do the work, but not sure how friends should I be while talking to them. Please elaborate. So Anirudh, my opinion is that they should feel that you are on their side. They should feel that they can rely on you, that you're a friend. That is not a bad thing, right? They should be able to trust you. They should like you. They should be on your side, and you should be on their side. They should know that you are loyal to them, and that's very important. Okay, that is what will make a difference. Shruti, does having an LLM degree is a good backup? Yeah, it is a good backup. If you have a good LLM degree, you can go and teach in a university, but it will not help you in a law firm. Okay, they don't care. They'll not pay you more salary or prefer you for hiring because you have a LLM degree. They don't care about that. Okay, but yeah, you have a backup that you can go and teach in a university someday. You can clear the UGC NET and teach, right? How do we approach a startup for an internship? Very simple. You look up good startups in your city. Let's say you want to work with fintech startups. So you look for fintech startups. Let's say you are from Calcutta. You look up fintech startups in Calcutta, fintech startups in Delhi. And with startups, you can also do remote work. But it's better to go in the office and work if possible. If not possible, you do remote. So you said fintech startups in Gurgaon, fintech startups in Mumbai, fintech startups in Kochi, fintech startups in Bangalore, wherever you want to do it. And there you have a list, and then you go to their LinkedIn profile, see if there is any lawyer working there. If there's any lawyer working, you can apply to them, you can write mails to them. There is no lawyer. Do they have a CFO? Write to the CFO, write to the CEO, write to the founders, requesting them that I am a law student, I am very interested in fintech. I know, I have written these few articles about it. I think I can help your startup with these things. I just want some experience. I expect no salary, no payment, nothing. But can I help your startup? Can I start contributing in some ways? How can I help your startup? I am ready to do anything and everything. Please guide me. What can I do? And they'll give you opportunities. This is the best way. Okay, and I have again done an entire webinar on how to get internships with startups, how to and how to find internship anywhere in India. You can do that. Okay, and you can even write to startups in Silicon Valley. You can write to small startups in other countries and tell them that I want to help. They'll also accept you. You can tell them I will do anything. You have any work for me, data entry, article writing, I'm ready to do anything and everything. I don't expect any payment. Can you at least try me out? And write like this to 20, 30, 100 people. Some people will say, yes, we are ready to try. Okay. What type of articles we can write on IPR? I mean, write on important questions, conceptual questions, write on latest trends on IPR. I don't know how to answer that question. Which LawSikho course is useful for working with startups? The due diligence work. Okay, due diligence work is different. Compliance work is different. I'm going to share. If you want to learn due diligence, we have a course on M&A, investment law, and institutional finance. I'll share the link with you. You guys can at least download the free study material and see. Right. So here is the link. This is the course. Okay, and there is one more for if you want to work with startups. For that, there is a business law for in-house counsels course. Okay. Here you go. Here is the link. Maybe this will help some of you. Okay. Let's see the next question. So somebody is asking, sir, does NLU tag matter? And the answer is that NLU tag matters. Even if you're from a smaller NLU, I mean, it matters a little, but you know what really matters is how much experience do you have? What track record do you have? Have you written articles? Have you worked with startups? Do you know the work? These things matter much more than NLU tag. Okay, a tag doesn't matter so much as much your skills, your knowledge, your ability, your how brilliant you are at your work. Are there people ready to vouch for you? Are people ready to recommend you? Are you able to get the work done? That will always triumph over any tag. Okay, so if that is why I am telling my students all the time that instead of trying to get a tag, try to get the knowledge, try to get the skills, try to get the recognition, try to help impress people who will be ready to vouch for you. That is much better. In fact, Pranav is saying, in fact, most partners, principal associates, senior associates are from non-NLUs. Very true. Very, very true. It doesn't matter. But imagine that you haven't done any of these things. You don't know how to do the work. You don't have any practical skills. You have not written articles. You have not done internships. Like, what is there that makes you stand out and want people to hire you? If there is nothing, then at least they'll say, okay, at least this person has cracked clad, gone to NLU, let me hire that person. Why should they hire you? You can't say that I am entitled to getting hired because I have studied law for 5 years. Realize there is only maybe 200 law firm jobs, right? And there are 50,000, 60,000 graduates every year. Everybody wants these jobs. It is highly exclusive. Everybody is not going to get it. So what are they going to look at before giving you a job? What have you done? Have you created a great track record? Have you done something amazing that they can say that, okay, this person is better than the NLU person? They have to go by something, right? We should focus on becoming knowledgeable and gain practical skills. Correct, Pranav. Absolutely correct. You are right. Do NLUs provide placement after LLM? No. Even in NUJs, NALSA, they are not able to place people after LLM. Even NLS maybe a little bit. That's it. Not all NLS, LLM people are also getting placement. NUJs and all absolutely not getting. NALSA, NUJs, LLMs not getting. And Baki to rehne do, right? Not even talking about the rest. Okay. What other questions have we got? Can someone change department team within a law firm after joining? Yes, it is possible. It is rare. Actually, some of the law firms have a rotation. They don't, put you in only one law firm. One team from the beginning, but they make you go around different teams for 1 year or 2 years, and then they let you choose one of those teams. And of course, the team also has a say whether they want you or not. So this is a common thing. So rotation is there in a lot of law firms, not in all law firms too. But it is better if you can choose your area of practice, because then you can prepare yourself and do well in that practice area. Many top tier law firm is providing online internships to top NLUs only. Can you guide how to get online internship in top law firms? You need recommendation from partners. Okay, so you have to do something so good that people are impressed by you, that they are ready to vouch for you, and then you will get internship. It has happened to my students that they have not applied. They have got law firms reaching out to them saying that, would you like to apply to our law firm? Can you imagine? Because you have written articles and people are so impressed by seeing that they are reaching out. So why don't you come and intern with us? Would you like to intern? Okay. So this is the situation. So you need to build your profile such that people will recommend you for internships, not the other way around. Murthy Sunny Barapu is saying, I am not good at English speaking and writing. How to improve? Is there any practical course conducted by LawSikho to practice as an advocate? Yes, we have a legal English communication course. I'll share this with you. Here you go. This is the course. So your 1-year course. This is our most extensive course. It's very hard to teach people English. We have to really struggle for 1 year to manage to do it. One of the, for us, the most challenging course to build and to train people. Okay, so definitely check out this course. Okay, more questions are coming. Are online ADR platforms like Sama good enough for paralegal jobs? Kanika, you can try out. I mean, why not? But apart from Indian companies, also try to do paralegal job with foreign companies. That way you will be able to earn much more money. Okay. Very good idea to do with foreign companies also. What's the recruitment vacancies of white collar crime research interns in law firms? Very less. There are hardly, very few firms, very few teams doing white collar crime, not research, white collar crime practice. Very, very hard to get in. Like it's very, very niche, very, very difficult to get in. Can you name a few good law firms where work culture is good? I can't really take names like this. I would say it's not a firm issue really. Okay, Yogini, everywhere it is so cutthroat, so hard. It's not like you will go to some law firm, it will be easier. It is all about how prepared you are when you are going in. If you are really have the good knowledge, good skills, you might find every law firm really amazing. It's not really like that. 𝗥𝗵𝗃𝗂𝗷, is it a paid course? 𝗥𝗵𝗃𝗂𝗷, all LawSikho courses are paid, but you can go to the page and download free study material. There will be some free study material on every page of LawSikho. So you can download that if you want. All our courses are paid courses, but we have a lot of free content. You can, see the LawSikho blog is there. iPreader's blog is there. Lots of free content. We are doing so many webinars, lots of free content. Join the groups. Every day we send free emails with a lot of information, right? So you can do any of that if you like. Okay. So free content you will get enough from us. Like you can just start attending my webinars every day and you'll get lots of free content from me. So Kriti, I'm from Jindal Global Law School. Do NLU students have an unfair advantage in case they want to apply for a college outside India like Cambridge? Not really. Not really. I would have thought otherwise 2 years back, but I had a lot of interaction with foreign law university faculties in the last 1 year. And I've come to realize that people care less about colleges. Within India, people still care about, oh, you are from this college, you are from that college. But outside India, nobody cares so much about Indian law colleges. For them, I mean, I don't think they might even think Jindal is better than NLU's. Or, I mean, it depends on how, because Jindal is so aggressive in PR and engaging with foreign universities so much, they might actually have a better opinion of Jindal than an NLU. And even if it is an NLU versus GLC versus symbiosis, I don't think they care. I mean, for them, it doesn't matter. Sure, if you're from Harvard, they're going to care. But in India, some law college, Indian law universities don't even come in any foreign ranking, except for Jindal, I think comes, like some top, like that also is a low rank compared to the global ranks of universities, right? National Law School Bangalore even doesn't come in QS ranking anyway. So it's like for them, it's like we are non-existent. I mean, good, you are from any university, got good score, very nice, but they're not like, oh, you are from NLS and you are from NLU Jodhpur, then the NLS guy is better. They don't think like this, okay? Or you are from NLS Bangalore, you are from GLC Calicut, so you are better than the GLC Calicut guy. No, they don't understand like this, okay? They don't care also. You have to build a track record. That is more important, right? All right. What else? Are there more? Are there questions I missed? I love to answer. Please remind me of. Does NGO internships matter for what? If you want to build a career in the non-profit sector, it matters. Otherwise, it doesn't. Like if you want to work in a law firm, you'll not even write that you interned with an NGO in your application later on. It is not relevant, it's irrelevant. Do not write irrelevant things in your CV when you are applying to a law firm. Only write what is relevant. Okay, so doing an NGO internship won't really matter. Okay, did I miss any questions? Saurabh Sharma, how to make peace with uncertainty attached with litigation for a first generation advocate. I'm going to have more discussion. So, make peace with the fact, Saurabh, that if you learn how to get your own clients as a litigator, then you will be able to earn a lot of money. Okay, you can earn even more than people who are working at law firms, for that matter. Like, nothing stops you. It's harder, and somebody working in a law firm will get good amount of money in their hand regularly. You will not, but still, it's usually really worth it. I mean, my sister is a litigator and doing some corporate law work as well as an independent lawyer and doing litigation as well, and she's doing really well. And I told her, I always encourage her to do litigation. So it's not like as a litigator it is so bad. You just have to know how to get work. You have to know how to do the work. You have to know how to deliver results to your clients. You have to know how to manage things, and then you will do well. So it is not terrible. Okay. Can first generation lawyers survive in law profession? I am a first generation lawyer. So what? I am doing really well. And I mean, first generation lawyers do better. Like, all around me, there are so many successful first generation lawyers. It's not even funny. Okay. I think first generation lawyers have more advantage. You have to do the work. You can't expect that, oh, my dad will get me the internship. You have to go out and build relationships. You have to get it yourself. That's the only thing, right? I am planning to give judiciary exam in the future. Will doing internships be helpful in it? Yes, do a lot of criminal law, civil law internships in the trial court. It will help. It will help. Okay, because you will be learning more practical knowledge. You will get more procedural knowledge. That will be really helpful when you are studying for judiciary exam later on. As a British qualified LLB and LPC, is there scope to work in Indian corporate law firms without certificate of practice? Yes, there is. There is. I mean, I don't know about technically how they look at it, but you can work as a foreign law consultant. And I mean, law firms don't really require certificate of practice. There are lots of law firms, they don't require a certificate of practice because corporate law practice is not necessarily required. And also you can work with companies as in-house counsel, right? You don't need certificate of practice for that. And Shivani, why don't you do online remote work as a paralegal with foreign companies? It's such a great opportunity of a British LLB, LPC. You must try to get online remote work from UK. That you will probably make much more money and be much more successful at that. I want to learn the work in legal department of different investment bank, finance bank. How can I find out? I mean, you can find investment bankers on LinkedIn and try talking to them. I don't know how much they'll help you or if they'll be willing to. Somebody might be. It's worth trying. Maybe you reach out to 20 people, somebody might just help you. Doing LLB from lower tier law school and will doing LLM from top tier institution help us land a job in top tier law firm? No. Doing an LLM will not help you to land a job anywhere. Doesn't matter from which college. Okay? Doesn't work like that. What will help you is a lot of internships. Even if you're a low tier law school, doesn't matter. Do a lot of internships, learn practical work, build a good CV, build a good track records, articles, showcase that you are so good and do fantastic internships, impress people, get a PPO. That is how we'll get it. In case of planning for judiciary, working under High Court advocate will not help as you specified trial lawyer. Yeah, trial lawyer, not High Court. Okay, you can do it for an experience, but what will help? Trial lawyer advocacy will help you more. Okay, so I think I have answered most questions. Have I missed anything? You can repost a question if I'm missing something and I'll take it. I don't want to scroll up and read, and then I want to wrap this up. It's almost 9 p.m. All right, so whoever is here, okay, you can ask your question, but which foreign company paralegal job will you suggest in India? I have no companies to suggest. Reach out to law firms, reach out to companies. Okay, and see who will have something. My question, kindly answer. Repost your question, Muskan. Repost your question if you want me to answer it. All right. Where is Abhyuday? Can you please share the no, I have it already. Where is that? Where is that? Yeah. Here you go. Guys, make sure that you join this chat group if you already have not. Okay. This is a WhatsApp chat group. Be part of it. Make sure you're a part of it. And I've shared it with all of you. What else? Any question? What to write in other skills in internship application? Okay, what are the other skills relevant for? What are you applying for? Which internship? Is it a law firm internship? Is it, I don't know what internship you're applying for, but write other skills which will be relevant. For example, do you think they will find your article writing skill relevant, your business development skill relevant, your PR skill relevant? I don't know, whatever skills, your presentation skill, I don't know, something that will be something that you think will be relevant for them, put that in. Okay, not legal skills, but non-legal skills. Reach out to high street firms for paralegal work with foreign, not Magic Circle. Magic Circle won't work. Reach out to even individual lawyers, small 2-3 lawyers setups. Absolutely, reach out to them. Okay. Prashant has more question. What, according to you, are the common irrelevant things in CV among those who want to apply for corporate law jobs? You know, what is relevant is what would help you to do the job better, right? So if you're applying for a M&A job, then you want to write articles and internships and events that you have attended about M&A, about company law, not family law, not NGO internship, not your criminal law internships. That won't help. You might think it'll help. It won't help. Okay. Group is full. Abhyuday, can you please get one more group link and share if you are still here, because I don't know what to do. The another group link got full. So I don't know what to do. Okay, so we'll share it in a minute, guys. Any other questions I can answer? WhatsApp group for corporate law. So I had shared the link of group 5, I think, but I think it's already full. Just get whichever group has enough space. Please share that group so that people can join. All right. Okay, so if anybody is not able to join the group, here is the solution. You can send me a mail at ramanuj@lawsikho.in. Oh, actually, I'll tell you, send a mail to bhavna@lawsikho.in. Okay, and if you send a mail here to this email ID, Bhavna, with your phone number, she can add you. Okay, bhavna@lawsikho.in. So you can reach out here. All right, super. So anybody is excited about who all are going to attend my future webinars? I shared all the details of webinars with you. Who all are going to attend the future webinars? Say yes if you're going to attend, no if you're not going to attend. Great, awesome. Make sure you go to lawsikho.webinar and sign up for those specific webinars which you don't want to miss, and be a part of the WhatsApp group so that there also will send you reminders. All right. Thank you, everyone. It was awesome talking to all of you. It has been 3 hours. Time to wrap this session up. And definitely on 16th, I have a webinar, a workshop, 3-hour workshop again on 16th. Don't miss it for any cost. It will be a really amazing workshop. Make sure you are there. All right. Don't attend. Awesome, Prashant. See you. Take care. I will send a mail with all the relevant YouTube videos that would really help you. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.